and co-director of the New Plays Workshop, Jamie Rocha Allen and myself. Welcome to this evening's Zoom reading of The Pig War by Jayne Moyes. For more than 20 years now, the Department of Theater's New Plays Workshop has been in the business of nurturing new works of theater. This is how it works. We select unproduced but completed drafts of scripts for the workshop. Students from across the department, from the actor training program, from the music theater program, from the theater studies program, from design and stage management programs, join the workshop as a class in the spring semester. And then we form into creative teams with writer, director, dramaturg, stage manager for each of the plays. This year, there are 4 plays, and we begin to work. The first thing we do is we read dramaturgical material that's based on the subject matter of the plays and discuss it. This year, for example, and with this play, The Pig War, our playwright brought in a whole lot of period music for us to listen to. That was one of the dramaturgical exercises. After that, we do a series of table reads that familiarize us with the scripts, and also often for the playwright, it's the first time they've heard it all read in a connected way by talented actors. So sometimes right from there, the rewriting begins. Then we explore the scripts on their feet, get them up on their feet, and the directors, in concert with the writers, figure out what they want to see, and that, of course, adds a new level that then also leads to rewriting. The very last thing we do, and we really don't do it until like the beginning of April, is cast the plays and rehearse them for these readings that you're seeing this week and this one that you're seeing tonight. All along the way, the workshop discusses the scripts, and the workshop discusses what they're hearing, what they're seeing. They do a lot of observing, not a lot of up or down stuff, but just this is what I'm seeing, because that's the most helpful to the writers. And the writers rewrite as they see fit. Nobody pressures them, but they all work terribly hard, including tonight's writer. Well, all of that leads up to tonight. Tonight, you'll be hearing and seeing The Pig War as its very first audience. So thank you for being at the cutting edge of theater. It does, however, give you a mission if you choose to accept this mission. And that is to observe carefully, and in the talkback, which we hope that as many of you as can will stay for, it's only going to be about 20 minutes, that in that talkback, led by our dramaturg for this creative team, Danny Borba, along with our director, Dylan Burningham, and our stage manager, Grayson Kamel, and of course our fine writer, Jayne Moyes. If you observe carefully, then you can tell Jayne what her play is about. If you can't stay, that's of course fine too. But if you can, you might be thinking about questions like this. What story is getting told? How would you describe a character or two that sticks out for you? What thematically is the play saying to you? What stance toward historical figures and towards history does this playwright take? Danny will guide us through all of that, and he's got his own questions. You can ask questions in the chat by just typing them in. You can also, at that point, but please not before that point, unmute yourself and ask the question just out loud. I really want to thank this hardworking creative team and cast, and especially Jayne, who worked with grace and wit to improve her script all throughout this process. Jayne Moyes is not only an enormously talented writer and actor and director and organizer, she's also a slightly scary person, at least to me, because she always seems about 3 steps ahead of where everybody else is going. Like Ben Stanford last night, Jayne is a recipient of a Promising Playwrights Award scholarship, and she currently serves as the president of Open Door Theater Company. Last year in this New Plays Workshop, Jayne wrote a riveting play called I Like Beer, which is about the confirmation hearing of now Justice Brett Kavanaugh. She pulled off the seemingly impossible in that play, walking the line of dispassionate reportage and yet somehow exposing all the cracks in the confirmation process and making it all work dramatically. In that play, Jayne established one of her trademark playwriting modes, a melange of historical fact with contemporary thematic concerns and language, much in the manner of Susie Laurie Parks. The result is genuinely piquant satire and lots of laughs. Jayne's play tonight is about a little-known conflict in 19th century US-British history. I had to keep reminding myself all throughout the process that this really happened. So enjoy and stick around if you can. The Pig War, a play by Jayne Moyes. Author's note: portrayals of animals in the production should be puppets. The set should be constructed from flats and backdrops. Set changes are meant to be seen in the darkness. There is no need for realistic scenery aside from a few functioning doors and a rowboat that is to be wheeled on and off stage. Desks in correspondence scenes should be simple enough to accommodate quick on-stage set changes. Cast: Lyman Cutler, 30s, an unsuccessful gold miner turned San Juan Island settler, desperately trying to establish his plot of property and start a new life. Margot Cutler, 30s, a homesteader eager to plant her roots and begin a new community. Daniel Cutler, 30s, Lyman's older brother, a record-breaking logging athlete and woodcarver. Joshua Cook, 30s, father of 12 children, who has come to claim land alone and prepared in advance of his family as they journey from New York. Charles Griffin, 60s, owner of Bellevue Farm and merchant of the British Hudson Bay Company, husband to Julia. Julia Griffin, 60s, a shepherd and seamstress, wife to Charles. General William Harney, 65, American, commander of the Department of Oregon, veteran of the Mexican-American War, turned bounty hunter, generally bad guy. James CAPPY Pickett, 20s, an enthusiastic, aspiring captain, anxious for a chance to make a name for himself. Governor James Douglas, 50s, a British official, troubled by American squatters encroaching on his territory. Robert L. Baines, 50s, a British admiral set on negotiation. General Winfield Scott, 80s, a retired American general sent in order of the president's desk and set on negotiation. Titus SAXE, 80s, a retired British authority. Same actor will play Prime Minister Edward Smith Stanley, 50s, the Prime Minister of Great Britain. President James Buchanan, 50s, the 15th President of the United States of America. Same actor will play Captain Lewis Hunt, 30s, Chicago-born American captain brought in to replace Pickett. Kaiser Wilhelm I, Kaiser of Germany. American citizen, who will also play Heinrich Kiepert, assistant to the Kaiser, and British citizen who will also play Levin Goldschmidt, geographer to the Kaiser, and townspeople 1, 2, and 3. Scene 1. Small plot. Lyman, Margot, Daniel. A large oak tree sits on a small fenced-off plot of uncultivated, overgrown land that connects to the shore of a small pond. Enter Lyman. He takes an extremely long, deep breath. He climbs onto a rock to fully soak in the first glance of his new home.
Wow. This is a really nice sight. Come along, dear. Oh, Margot, you have to see it. It's marvelous.
She sounds like she's struggling with something off stage.
Hold on, I'm coming.
Hurry, dear. Man, I wish you could see what I'm seeing right now. How to describe? Having my feet on this land, I can feel the potential of this lot. It's all ours, dear. I'm just so proud of us. Hell, we dumped everything we had into that river. Sun up, sun down, digging and scooping and shaking those damn pans for treasure. Searching for that elusive American dream, just to go home with nothing but silt in our pockets. We struggled so that today we can finally step foot on our patch of freedom. That's the only treasure worth fighting for. Place we can finally call home, call ours. We own a piece of this country's majesty. All that suffering and failure were stepping stones to our true destiny. This island. Tiny temptress, San Juan, I will tame your wilderness. Margot, together we will shape this land into our legacy, and for generations we will... Honey, hurry up! You're kind of missing the big moment. Are you even listening?
Margot drags herself on stage along with a large handcart full of trunks and guns and a bunch of heavy old westerny settler tools.
It's nice, Lyman, but give me a moment to catch my breath and admire its majesty and our destiny, or whatever you said. Oh, that cart is heavy. The mule twisted her ankle down by the beach. I tried to tell you that, but you ran up here so quickly you must not have heard.
So, pretty sweet, huh?
Honestly, it's not like I imagined it would be. It's a little smaller than the ad suggests, don't you think?
Well, you should know better than anyone the size doesn't matter. It's what we do with it. We're going to plow this land and build and plant a new life.
Let me catch my breath first. But yes, we will. Well, I meant it's just small compared to the neighbors.
Neighbors?
The sound of farm animals fades in. Margot turns Lyman around and reveals a lavish two-story log cabin and ranch with seemingly endless fields, absolutely cluttered with sheep. Connected to their shared fence is a gate with a decorated sign that reads, Bellevue Sheep Farm. A flagpole waves the flag of Great Britain.
Huh. Must have missed that.
We're so close to Vancouver Island, they must be British. Wow, we're really close. I can see it from here. Hey, and there's Washington, too.
Don't worry, honey. In a few months, we'll build a farm twice as nice as the British neighbors.
Well, I'm just excited to build anything at all. I'm so tired of journeying to the next big thing. First, it was the plains, then it was the gold. Now we're colonizing an island. I just want to be somewhere long enough to be a part of the community. Really settle down and plant some roots. You know how long I've waited for an opportunity to have a place of our own. I want it to be everything I dreamed it would be. Just promise me this is our last great adventure.
I promise. You missed my whole speech about it. I'll start over. Hell, we dumped everything we had into that river. Sun up, sun down, digging and scooping and shaking those damn pans for treasure, searching for that elusive American dream. Just to go home with nothing but silt.
Enter Daniel Cutler sneaking up on them. He holds a large wooden sculpture of a bear in front of him. He roars, attempting to scare the preoccupied couple.
Oh, dear God, Lyman, a bear!
Ah! Whoa, no need for that. It's just a red pine I cut up for you this morning with my new dog, Leg Chisel. I'm family. You don't shoot family.
Daniel, brother, good to see you.
They embrace.
That wasn't cool. You can't come at me like that. Margot is a woman. She scares easily.
I only see one woman here, and it ain't your wife.
Oh, yeah? Where is she? Maybe I'll trade old Margot out. New farm, new me, right? Get it?
You're looking well, Daniel. Thank you for the bear. We will put it over by this stump.
Margot, you seem like you could use a proper place to rest. I know the trail from Oregon can be treacherous. I'm glad you made it all in one piece.
Trust me, the trail from Oregon was a piece of cake compared to the Oregon Trail. That was a nightmare. You remember that party? Remember when we met that couple who had to eat their party? What were their names? The ones with the crazy eyes?
Jeff and Donna Donner, honey. Actually, a nice couple despite the whole cannibal thing.
That trip was awful, but we made it here just fine.
Daniel, this isn't exactly what you described. Isn't the island a little small? I've been envisioning this place as a utopia based on the ad you sent, and it says...
He reads from a comically large full-page newspaper ad.
Do you want a piece of America's hottest new conquest? Oregon Territory's fun cousin? Homestead on the up-and-coming San Juan Island. Vast landscapes and even vaster opportunities to make up hundreds of dollars in as little as 4 harvests by claiming your free land. Anyone can do it. Limited time offer, must claim before winter freezes the channel.
Yeah, it's a great ad. We've got a new printing press over by the port.
I hear the exports are excellent. I read that the trade port here is actually pretty active for furs and lumber.
It's a fairly active channel, I guess, yeah.
Daniel, the ad? It's a little vague, don't you think? I was expecting vast landscapes, but this whole island couldn't be larger than 50 square miles.
The island may not be big, but it's got a lot of heart. It's beautiful and peaceful here. We may be a small community, but the people here are kind and look out for one another.
That's the other thing. The British seem to have beaten us here. The ad says this island was American and it came as like a bonus with Oregon. I don't really understand. Is San Juan American or not?
Yeah, don't overthink it. It's sort of both. But don't mind them. Old man Charles Griffin lives there on Bellevue. Him and his wife Julia and their 3,000 sheep have been here for 15 years. They started this town.
Lyman, do you think they'll like us? I hope they don't mind that we're here. I didn't expect to have neighbors so close. The ad said that this was the undiscovered wilderness and...
Forget about the ad. Look around you, Margot. We finally got a place to start our lives. It may not be exactly what the ad said, or it may not be exactly what the ad said it would be, or exactly like we dreamed, but it's our home. You've always wanted a place to call your own, and now we've got it. We're gonna build a farmhouse right here, and I'll plant you a garden like you wanted. I'll even build us a white fence like the one you had on Ma's farm. Nothing is ever as good as the ad makes it out to be. But with you and I here together, we're gonna make this place a utopia.
You're right. It's not all that bad. It's a good thing it's small. We'll get to know everyone much easier that way. Once we're settled, we should go over to Bellevue and introduce ourselves. I'm sure they're going to be nice. I can't believe this is finally happening. Us with real neighbors. I'm so excited.
How many people live here, actually?
Including you and your wife, there's 25 of us. But the ad pulls in more every day. It's a pretty good ad.
I don't know. I had a lot of fine print.
Thank you. I handcrafted the teeny alphabet stamps for the press.
You always were quite the craftsman.
We better start unpacking, Daniel. Work starts early tomorrow if we want to be operating by fall.
So eager. I've been cooking up a feast for you two. Rest a while. You've had a big day.
Man, I've missed your cooking. But you go on ahead. We'll be over in a while. I just need a moment alone with my wife and my new land. I'm sure you understand.
All right, well, take your time. You need to... Well, take all the time you need and come over when you're done taking a moment with your land. My house is just down the road. You can't miss it. It's the one with all the wooden bears.
Of course.
Exit Daniel.
I really think this is the one, Margot. We can finally rest.
He lies down in the dirt.
What are you doing?
Come lay with me.
Margot joins him.
We're home.
Not much of a home yet, but soon enough it will be. We'll build it together.
They kiss.
I'm already starting to like it here.
Lights out. Scene 2. Cutler's house. Lyman, Margot. Lights up on the same plot of land 2 months later. The leaves of the trees have begun to change to yellow and red, and on it now sits a humble log cabin with a rickety front porch and a developing garden in the yard. Margot is washing some wool fabrics in the stream. Lyman enters through the front door holding 2 tin cups of coffee.
Good morning, dear. Isn't it lovely out? It's a little brisk, but I think it's normal for this time of year.
Is this the coffee that Joshua set aside for us at the port?
Yeah, he told me it's imported from Jamaica.
It's nice, thank you. Okay, so we've got to plant the beans today, and I need you to cut more wood.
I took care of it yesterday.
You left the last bundle out in the rain, so it's useless until it dries.
Okay, I'll chop some more. Maybe I'll just steal some from Daniel.
Good idea. Oh, and that pig you hate got into the radishes again. We will have to replant those. All we have left are the potatoes, corn, and squash.
Again? I've got to do something about that damn pig. Maybe I'll finish the fence today.
That would be nice.
Is it just me, or are we nailing this?
What?
This whole farm life thing. I feel like we're naturals. It wasn't that hard to homestead. Just like the ad said. Anyone could do it.
Excuse me? Not anybody, me. You've barely done anything. I got the lumber, built the cabin, tilled the land, planted the crops, and this garden basically all on my own. You spent the last few months at the trade ports getting your foot in the game early. What does that even mean, Lyman?
Honey, this farm is nothing if we can't trade our crops. This island sits on a very important trade route, and I really think this town is on the come-ups. I know business, and you have to network to get a product sold. It's about who you know.
We don't have anything for them to buy yet. Can't we just focus on that? You're doing it again.
What?
Chasing the next shiny achievement and abandoning the one you just started. It's coming along, but we're no Bellevue Farms. I just want this place to be everything we dreamed of. Would you please start helping a little more? You promised we were going to do this together.
Yes, of course we are. I'm all in here, 100%. Baby, you know how much I care about this farm. But I've got to put us on the map somehow so we can start making a living. Just trying to plant some seeds.
Here are some.
She hands him a bag and a shovel. She gets up and exits inside. He examines the bag.
Okay, carrots, where do you go?
He looks around the garden for the sign indicating where he should plant them and begins sprinkling them carelessly into the designated plot.
Here you go, carrots. Grow big and strong so I can make lots of money off of you.
He goes to grab the watering can but stops at the sound of a distant pig snorting and squealing.
Do you hear that, carrots?
He listens for a moment.
Oh, hell no. Margot wants some help, I'll give her some help. You're not gonna get away this time, you little shit-eater.
Lyman runs inside and shortly enters back out to the porch with shotgun in hand. Margot follows behind him.
Lyman, what are you doing? What's going on?
It's the pig again. It's been here 3 times in the last week trying to get at our potatoes. I can tell it's him because his tail curls twice. I have a lead on a potato deal. I'm not letting that freak hog ruin this for me. This means war!
Lyman frantically loads his gun and runs behind the house.
Do you really need to shoot him? You can't just go around declaring war on a pig. That's absurd. Lyman, don't!
Bang! A gunshot is heard. Lyman enters again, splattered with blood. He's holding the dead pig by its double-curled tail.
I got him.
No, Lyman, why did you do that? He probably belonged to somebody. Somebody who's gonna be mad.
I was mad that somebody's pig was trespassing on our property, eating our crops. On my land. I'm just protecting our farm. Don't worry, babe. I got him. He can't hurt us anymore. Plus now I can land this potato deal and maybe even throw in a pig for good spirits. It's important to create a relationship with the client. This is a good thing.
I cannot believe you. So quick to violence. Your crazy obsession with these deals may have gotten us into serious trouble. There are only like 30 people on this island, and now one of them is sure to hate us.
I was trying to help. You were upset about the pig, and I took care of it. I thought you wanted me to help. I'm helping!
Lyman shakes the dead pig in his wife's face.
I can't with you right now. I'm going to the port to get some fabric to Joshua Cook. You can finish up the chores here, and once you're done, you can go find out whose bacon you fried.
It'll be sizzling on the stone by the time you get home.
I'm serious. You need to fix this.
Exit Margot. Lyman sits on the porch and cleans his gun. Lights out. Scene 3. Bellevue Farms. Margot walks up to the porch and stands in front of the door to Bellevue Farms. She takes some time fixing her dress and arranging her fabrics in the basket to be more appealing. She rings the bell, which is a genuine bell hanging on their porch, and Julia, with blood all over her apron, answers the door. The open door reveals sounds of pigs squealing.
Oh, have I caught you at a bad time?
No, I was just getting supper ready. Let me finish this up. Why don't you have a seat out here and I'll be right out with you.
All right, thanks, Julia.
Margot sits on a rocking chair. She fixes her clothes and decides to reorganize the fabrics in the basket again. A few moments of awkward waiting, listening to Julia absolutely destroy the pig inside.
Die, you squirming motherfucker, die!
Squealing suddenly stops. Julia enters back out to the porch, wiping blood off her face with 2 cups of tea.
Sorry about that. What can I do for you, my dear Margot? What brings you across the pond today?
Well, I was wondering if you or Charles wanted any of these fabrics I've just dyed. I went down to sell them at the port, but no one was there.
My... You are new! It's the Timber Day Festival!
Timber Day? What, it's a holiday for the trees?
Not exactly. We are a small community, so we try to get everyone together when we can. We created the festival 5 years ago when there were only 8 of us. Basically, everyone in town comes together in the clearing behind the Petersons' farm and competes in a series of foot races and logging contests to determine the strongest man on the island. It's all just for fun and quite like a fair. They also judge produce and livestock and such. We meant to tell you, dear, but Charles and I have been so busy preparing Porky for the swinest of all time pageant.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. I would love to get to know everyone a bit better. Lyman and I will be there. though we don't have much produce to compete with. We haven't been producing much yet on the farm.
Oh, child, it takes time. Be patient. You seem tough. I truly believe by next harvest I may have some competition.
Thank you, Juliet. It means more than you know to hear such nice things. Your farm is so well maintained. I best be getting back to Lyman soon. I left him unattended with the chores, so I'll have to redo them if I want to be able to come tonight. Good luck in your, what did you say the pageant was?
Swinest of all time? It's a contest of pigs on the island. Our prize Porky has taken home the blue ribbon the last 5 festivals. Oh, see, I have a portrait of her.
She hands Margot a photo of Porky she keeps in a locket in her apron.
She has a rare double curled tail. That's what makes her so valuable. No other pig on the island has one. In fact, I better go start preparing her. I couldn't find her this morning, so she must be rolling in the filth somewhere.
Yeah, hope you find her. All right, bye then. See you tonight.
Margot runs off stage.
See you tonight. Wait, I didn't get to see the fabrics. Oh, well. Oh, Porky. I love you like the daughter I never had. Now, where are you, girl? Time for Mommy to give you a sponge bath.
Lights out. Scene 4. Timber Day Festival. Margot and Lyman are dressed in their finest clothes. They walk down a wooded path decorated with directional signs leading to the Timber Day Festival.
I'm telling you, she loves this pig. She has a portrait of it in her locket. I think you've done a really bad thing, Lyman.
Come on, Marg, it's a pig. It's not like I killed her dog, or kid, or queen.
Not just a pig, a 5-time blue ribbon winner of the swinest of all time pageant pig. All I'm saying is you have to apologize and offer to pay for compensation.
So I have to apologize for protecting my own property and pay my hard-earned and heavily taxed wages to some dusty Brit because of a pig? No. When I became a property owner, I gained the right to protect it at all costs.
When you became a citizen of this town, you gained the right not to be considered a total dick, but that might be taken away from you. Offer them $10 at least.
$10? We won't be able to buy that fancy Jamaican coffee anymore. Do you realize that? What will we drink? Tea?
I don't care about the coffee. We will be run off this island before we even get to spring if you don't do right by Porky.
Daniel enters from the forest, seemingly out of nowhere.
You two heard about Porky too, huh? Mrs. Griffin is all 6s and 7s about it. She's been crying, running around town trying to find her. She didn't even bring her famous ribs because she felt like it was too soon to make them. Yeah, Porky is kind of the town mascot. Everybody loves her. There's just something special about that pig. You two keep an eye out. Here, I made these to give out at the pageant, so you know what she looks like. You can tell it's her by that signature double-curled tail.
He hands them each a wooden miniature pig with a double-curled tail.
Anyways, I'll see you two at the festival. I've got to keep practicing if I'm going to break my speed pole climbing record this year.
Daniel exits, running back into the forest.
See? You fucked up, Lyman. Fix it.
Fine. I'll offer $10, but I still think it's too much. I didn't do anything wrong.
They arrive at the Timber Day Festival, a large field decorated with booths and banners. The whole town is there, chatting over food and playing games. Charles and Julia Griffin are in the center of huddled townsfolk, consoling them, as Julia wails.
Go over and talk to them.
I will. Let me get some food first. Can't apologize on an empty stomach.
Lyman beelines it to the opposite side of the field from the Griffins. He begins fixing himself a plate. Joshua Cook walks up to the table and begins getting his own food.
Hey there, Lyman. How are your yields?
Hey, Joshua, coming along. I've had some vermin trouble lately.
Oh, you gotta shoot those critters before they start breeding and do some real damage to your crops.
Yeah, that's what I said. My wife is so angry anytime I have to kill something, but that's farm life. I tell her, it's tough.
You can say that again. Only thing worse than vermin is children. You can't shoot those or your wife gets real mad.
I bet. Are your kids here enjoying the festival?
Oh, no, they ain't here, thank God. Laurel and the 12 little devil spawn are still journeying from New York. You think I could get any work done with the sound of 12 screaming kids at all times? Always crying, never sleeping, never eating. One of them is always sick, and as soon as one does die, another pops right out. Oh, man, it's been heaven having some peace and quiet alone out here. You have any kids, Lyman?
No, but my wife wants them. I told her we had to plant our roots here before we could even think of it.
Well, if you want my advice, don't bother. Sure, more little hands to do the choring, but the noise alone will make you wish you never had them. Just be like old Mrs. Griffin and get yourself a squealing pig.
Why is everyone so obsessed with that damn pig?
Well, it's got a double curled tail. Very rare. Porky's the only one on the island who got one.
Come on, Lyman. Oh, hello, Mr. Cook. I was looking for you earlier. I brought those fabrics for you. Lyman was just leaving. He's got to take care of some business. Why don't you come see them with me?
Sure thing, Mrs. Cutler. Good talking with you, Lyman.
Lyman makes his way over to Griffin's. Julia is consoling herself while Charles stretches.
Hello, Charles. Julia.
Lyman Cutler. I noticed your rosemary bush growing into my side of the fence again. That's if you keep things on your side, Mr. Cutler.
That's actually what I'm here to talk to you about.
Save the business for later. We are celebrating after all. Come, take my seat. The games are about to begin.
Good luck, dear.
The town hushes and takes their seats as two tall, bare trees are carried in and placed. Daniel stands beside one, wearing a red, white, and blue flannel. Charles takes off his jacket to reveal a singlet embroidered with the Union Jack. He takes his place next to the other pole. A bell dings, and both men race up the logs, chopping footholds and hoisting themselves up to the top. Daniel nearly reaches the top when someone in the crowd pulls out a slingshot and decks him in the eye with a rock, causing him to fall to the ground.
All right! Another victory for the Queen's realm! Better luck next year, old chap.
That's not fair! You shot me!
I certainly did not. Besides, there's nothing in the rules about slingshots. And seeing as I am also the official this year, the call stands.
This is bullshit!
Daniel picks up his axe and storms off into the woods.
Wasn't that fun? I have a few moments before the pageant. Nothing to do now, but hope our dear Porky shows up. My wife has been beside herself. No, Lyman, what was it you wanted to talk to me about?
It's actually about Porky. See, I kind of shot her.
Pardon me?
What? Why would you do such a thing?
Well, she had been rummaging around my garden. I caught her 3 times before I finally killed her. You see, I had a very promising lead on a potato deal, and you know what? Truth is, that damn pig was on my property and I had to do something. It was eating my potatoes.
It's up to you to keep your potatoes out of my pig. Porky meant everything to my wife.
I can see that. But don't worry, I can pay you for her.
Lyman hands Charles $10.
Keep the change.
Charles looks at it in disgust and throws it on the ground.
$10? $10 isn't enough to fill the hole in my wife's heart. To fill the hole you left in this town. Just like an American to shoot first and ask questions later. And then you come to me offering me $10? I've never seen such a disregard for basic humanity. I do not accept.
Come on, Charlie. It's just a pig.
Porky was the 5-time blue ribbon holder of the swinest of all time pageant. She is not just a pig. Or was just a pig.
Oh, Julia, we didn't know how much she meant to you. Please, how much will it take to make this right?
$100.
$100? For some filthy pig? That's outrageous. I won't let you insult me like this. I won't pay a dime for that rotten hog. I don't care how many curls in its tail it has. I take back my offer, and I'm not sharing any of the ham with you.
Well,
Ooh.
then you leave me no choice. I will send a message to the British authorities and have you arrested if you do not pay.
Ooh. Whatever. What good is British police on American soil? San Juan is in America, and my country won't let some tea-drinking maniac treat one of its citizens this way for protecting his land. I'd like to see you try.
Wait, I thought Britain ruled this island.
No. America got it as a bonus when we bought the Oregon Territory.
No. This island is as much under the Queen's realm as the motherland itself. I am a Hudson Bay employee, and they sent us out here after Britain gained the land of the 49th parallel. I witnessed the signing of the treaty. So trust me when I say you are the foreigner here, sir.
I'm confused.
No. Look, I have an ad right here that says San Juan Island lies just below the Haro Strait, which separates Britain from America. So it must be a part of America, right?
That checks out.
Well, hold on here. Look here, I have an ad that says it lies above the Rosario Strait, which separates America from Britain. So technically it's under British rule.
Aha! So it is British. The treaty wrote that the border is split by the middle of the channel, which everyone knows is the Rosario Strait. I will have the authorities in from Vancouver Island by morning. He will assure us that San Juan is in fact British and arrest Mr. Cutler for his horrible murder.
This is nonsense. Let me see that.
He grabs the ad.
That must have been a misprint. Everyone knows the proper border is the Haro Strait.
Charles grabs the ad and points to the map on it.
You mean the Rosario Strait.
Haro Strait.
Rosario Strait.
Haro.
Rosario.
Haro.
Rosario.
What?
Gotcha! Enough! Okay? You will pay me my $100 by tomorrow afternoon or I'm calling the authorities.
The townspeople grumble off stage, arguing with one another over the boundary until only Margot and Lyman are left.
Are you happy now, Margot? Your little peace offering idea made everything worse. I never should have apologized. I didn't do anything wrong.
Are you sure that San Juan is American? I mean, if both countries claim it to be theirs, how do we even know? Daniel said
This
earlier...
is America. We wouldn't have come here if it wasn't. But who cares? You just made me embarrass myself in front of the whole town. You were the one who cared so much about what they think. I was fine just letting it be. That Charles Griffin hasn't heard the last of me. He thinks he can just call his mommy and the mighty queen, send authorities to wipe his ass for him. Next time, it won't just be the pig.
Let's go home, Lyman. You've done enough for today.
He hasn't heard the last of me. That's for sure. He's gonna be sorry.
Margot leads Lyman off stage. He runs back on and smashes the wooden pig figurine with his foot. Lights out. Scene 5. Cutler's house. Lyman sits on the porch, sulking, while Margot, Daniel, and Joshua quietly tend to the garden.
Thank you both for coming to help with the garden. That pig really did a number on it. Not like there was much here before. I don't know what I've been doing wrong, but nothing seems to grow. Maybe it's the soil?
No problem, Margot. We'll get this all cleaned up and replanted in no time.
Happy to help. I don't think it's the soil. Ground's just fine over at my place. Maybe it's what you're growing. I think you should plant your beans over here where you had the carrots.
Thanks, Joshua. Damn, where did I put those beans? Lyman, have you seen a bag labeled beans?
How can you care about beans at a time like this?
I care about beans because we need them to eat. You know, to survive. You don't seem to care much about this farm and all these days. Why don't you come help us?
I'm too upset. I'm trying to figure out a way to get back at Mr. Fancy Pants Griffin for the way he talked to me last night. I won't stand for it. The audacity of that guy. Daniel, you can't tell me you weren't pissed off at the way Charles cheated you out of that log climb. First he takes this island, and then he thinks he could take your hard-earned medal. What's he gonna take next?
You're kinda right. I never had a problem with him, but now he's unfairly awarding himself my trophy. Do you know how many hours I spent training this year? Just to be knocked off by some redcoat with a slingshot! This time he's gone too far.
Yes, exactly. Who does he think he is? Love the energy over here. Joshua, don't you think he's gone too far? Threatening to call the cops on me for what? Living on my land that I own? If he's coming for me, if he's coming after me for being here illegally, he's coming for you next. I think we should talk to him and let him know we can't be bullied off our God-given land by some hoity-toity Brit. Are you with me?
Well, the wife and kids have finally arrived, and I haven't gotten a moment of peace since. Somehow there are more children than I remember. It's like a swarm of sticky little bees. They're attacking me at all times. I honestly couldn't care less who owns the island, but I'll do anything if it gets me out of that house. You really think he will just back down?
How How can you all just sit there like you're preparing for war? We should be preparing for winter. Why are you so upset about this?
I'm upset because I care about this farm. I care about this family. I care about protecting our land from the Brits.
This island never had a problem with sharing until you went and killed that pig. Can't you go apologize and end this silly feud? It doesn't matter who technically owns it if we have to move because we starve.
We won't starve. Not if I have anything to do about it.
Enter TITUS SAXE, dressed in a British authority uniform carrying a letter. He is followed by Charles Griffin.
Oh, get a load of this, Officer SAXE. I thought you were dead. What brings you out of your coffin?
Charles, just the man I wanted to see. Hold it right there. I'm warning you, this is an American farm. You step 1 foot on this land, I'll have you arrested.
Funny you should bring that up, because I brought Titus here out of retirement to arrest you, Lyman.
Arrest him?
You have no authority here, old man. You can't arrest me. USA! 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 USA!
What? What did they say?
USA.
You are a what?
No, USA, like the United States.
Oh. Yes, well, I have an order here. Hold on, let me grab my glasses.
He shuffles around in his pockets for his readers, finds them, puts them on, and resumes delicately, opening the letter.
Okay, yes. It's from Vancouver Island Royal British Authorities to arrest you for failure to pay the amount of $100 to one Charles Griffin or face the charge of 1 count of first-degree pig murder. You know I can't really arrest him, right? I haven't been an authority for nearly 10 years. I thought we were just here to scare him.
I know, but be cool. Now, you can pay me my $100, or Titus here will put you in the stocks.
Please, Charles, this is ridiculous. What happened to Porky was an honest mistake. Why don't you and Julia come over for dinner and we can discuss a way to get through this without involving the authorities?
We are well past that point, dear. Either Lyman comes with me now, or I will see it that his little shack that you have here and will be Bellevue's newest manure hut. I've been meaning to expand it since you are squatting here illegally. I'm sure the British authority would have no problem signing me over the deed. Seems like it's already full of crap.
Burn.
You can't do that.
I can and I will. My great-great-great-great-great-grandfather fought in the Battle of Agincourt. I'm not afraid to fight. Now, you better watch your mouth, Daniel, or I'll uproot your wretched little woodworking studio, too. Those horrific statues you passed as art will burn nicely and keep me warm all winter.
You leave my bears out of this!
You leave me no choice, Griffin. You see, I've made some friends throughout my travels, and one of those friends happens to be the toughest, most dangerous killers known to man. Oh, and he just happens to be the general of the Oregon Territory, and he owes me one. When General Harney hears from me, you're going to be lucky to keep your scalp, let alone your life.
Lyman! William Harney is a serious man, and I'm sure a very busy man. He won't have time to deal with this silly fight. I say we all go home and have a nice nap, and we can talk about this later.
You're not the only one with powerful friends, Cutler. The Hudson Bay Company has made great relations with Governor James Douglas. We go to his Christmas party every year. I'm sure he wouldn't be too busy to beat your ass.
Fine then. Write to him. We'll do the same. See if we care.
Fine. Maybe I will.
Fine. I hope you do.
Titus, you make your way back to Vancouver Island. Deliver the news.
So I'm not going to get to use the stocks? I dug out the old uniform for nothing?
Oh, you'll get to use them all right. Soon enough.
Lights out. Scene 6. Bellevue Farms. Margot stands again on the porch of Julia and Charles Griffin. She's holding a large basket filled with goods. She spends a little time adjusting her basket to make it just right. She rings the bell. A sorrow-filled Julia answers the door in mourning black.
Well, you have some nerve showing up on my doorstep after what you have done. Can't you see that we are grieving? Please just go.
Please, wait. I'm here to apologize. I brought you something?
I don't know what you could possibly say to make this better. Porky is dead, and no gift could bring her back.
Julia, please, would you just sit with me and let me try to explain?
Fine, but I have a busy morning, planning the funeral and all, covering the chores while my husband is God knows where.
Oh, Julia, come, sit down.
Margot pulls the wooden figurine out of her basket and hands it to Julia.
Daniel made these for the pageant. I thought you might want to have it. I am so sorry for what my husband has done. It was never intended to hurt you or your family in any way. Lyman didn't know that Porky was such a special pig. See, we've been having trouble getting the farm going. We never had a place of our own to take care of, and he got protective of the land. That's why he shot your pig. Before we came here, we followed the crowds west in search of gold. It was a lonely and hard life. We were always moving to the next big lead, never had time to make neighbors, let alone friends. I guess we are still learning how to be in a community. I know we have hurt you, and I'm sorry his offer to make it right was not enough.
$10 is an insult to the legacy of Porky.
Please, tell me what else can make this right. Lyman is going nuts trying to prove your husband wrong. They're going to keep up this fighting unless we can figure something out.
I'll admit, Charles has been a bit too preoccupied with this whole border disagreement. I've been left alone with all the farm chores, and they're piling up.
Lyman's been the same way. He wasn't much help to begin with, but now I can barely get him to listen, let alone help me. Please, Julia, I've just started getting the house together, and I can't start over again. I'm just starting to see how beautiful this island is, and I really want to find a way to make it work here. This place is special. It feels like home, and I was starting to think we might become friends. But, like usual, my dumb husband found a way to ruin it. I am really sorry. Will you and Charles please come over for dinner tonight, and we can try to sort this thing out?
All right, fine. Maybe we can find a way to make this right. Let me talk to him.
Thank you, Julia. I'm sorry again for your loss.
Julia goes inside. Margot begins to walk home when she's met by Lyman, Daniel, and Joshua at the front gate. They are carrying many supplies.
What are you doing here?
We're occupying this farm until Charles backs down.
Excuse me? You better not be. I just got Julia to consider forgiving us.
I really don't care what Julia thinks because her husband does not respond to facts, so we are going to try to use force to change his mind. This is American land, and we are all American citizens, so we have every right to be here. We are starting a militia.
Yeah, we're going to camp out here and claim what is ours. I don't care how long it takes.
Yeah, I don't care if it takes months of blissful, child-free quiet.
Stay on topic, Joshua.
Sorry.
Dude, it's fine. We just have to stand together. USA, 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 USA.
They begin to set up tents at the gate of Bellevue Farms. Lights out. Scene 7, Fort Bishop, Oregon. General William Harney is sitting at his desk, which is highly decorated with taxidermy and stolen Native American artifacts. He smacks his feet onto the desk and picks up a photograph of himself. A knock at the door. Enter CAPPY Pickett.
General Harney, the post is in.
Man, these were the days. I wish I could go back to the Oregon Trail. Your father and I were legends back then. Now the men back in Washington have all gone soft. They don't want ruthless killing machines anymore. They want to free the slaves. What does this country come to?
I don't know. I have the mail.
This is from the day we won the Battle of Ash Hollow. My troops routed Little Thunder's village at Blue Water Creek. We'd been chasing them all day. About 250 of them, mostly women and children. We finally had them cornered into this cave, loaded up the cannons, and BAM! They called it the Harney Massacre, you know. The Lakota have a name for me too now. Mad Bear.
Very impressive stuff, sir. Really. You really have murdered a lot of natives. Anyways, you got a telegram.
Is it from Washington? Do they
It's
want me in the war?
from San Juan Island.
Ah, yes, San Juan. You know, I am responsible for clearing the Indians off that rock. They once had a thriving community there with rich traditions until I killed them all. Have I ever told you about that?
Yep, told me that one, sir. I prefer not to hear the details so vividly this time, if that's okay.
You are such a disappointment, Pickett. Your father was a ruthless killer, and you're nothing but a muffin. He and I would ride these plains, committing genocide. I bet you've never even strangled an Indian with your bare hands.
No, I haven't. Not really my thing. But I'm good at other stuff. I brought the mail.
I promised your father on his deathbed that I wouldn't let you grow up to be soft. What do you really want, Cappy? What lights the fire inside of you? For me, it's the blunt and brutal conquering of innocent natives and stealing their ancestral lands.
Well, I'm not sure that's really me, but what I really want is to be back with my buds from the point I was a legend there. I guess that's what I want, to be a star. I can sing too, you know. I was lead soprano in my a cappella band, the Harmonianiacs.
God damn it, Cappy! There's no place for singing in war, boy. Do you think I was singing when I marched across the Badlands to Fort Pierre trading post and challenged the Lakotos to a winner's fight, which I also won?
Maybe?
No, you goon! Bring me the letter.
Oh, yeah. It says urgent.
Why didn't you tell me? Read it aloud.
Well, I haven't really done a vocal warm-up, but I'll give it a try. It reads, Attention General Harney. I hope all is well. My name is Lyman CUTLER. You once shot me in the shoulder on accident while I was gold panning near Mount Hood. Do you remember me? Well, anyways, I write to see you as a local American and inform you of a British invasion of the San Juan Islands. There have been some confusion regarding the treaty of the 49th parallel's distinction of ownership of the islands. A farm from the Hudson Bay Company and a real dickweed, Charles Griffin has threatened me with arrest over the death of his stupid pig. The pig was trespassing on my land and eating my crops, so naturally, I capped that fool. Myself, along with a few other patriots, are currently occupying his farm, but could use some help with the coup. I remember upon our meeting, you had promised a favor for almost murdering me. I wish to cash that in now. Will you please send some American soldiers to help us run these Brits off our island? XOXO, your pal, Lyman CUTLER.
I do remember him. Wandered upon him on one of my hunts. He was so exhausted that he didn't notice a bird had made his nest in his hat. And you know I get trigger happy at the sight of a feather. Nice chap.
Must have been a pretty special pig. It might be a good idea for you to help navigate a harmless land dispute for a change. Word is, and you didn't hear this from me, you're not the man well-liked a general at the moment.
Who told you that?
Just some guy from my old lacrosse team whose dad is friends with Buchanan. He said that Buchanan said that you were too much.
Well, what does he mean by too much?
Well, I don't think this is about you, sir, but some of the men call you Hothead Harney.
I thought they called me Mad Bear.
Oh, yeah, they totally do. It's just, I guess you come off a bit too aggressive. Again, I don't think so. I think you're great, but this pig dispute might be good for PR.
Maybe you're right. I was demoted after the press found out about my mistreatment of all those captured prisoners from the St. Patrick's Battalion during the Mexican War. That was my third strike. I guess I can handle an angry British farmer, and it would give me a chance to fix the border issue, which might score me some points out east. All right. I will send the 9th Infantry. All 66 men should be ready to ship out tomorrow morning. You're going to lead them.
Me, sir? Really?
You said you wanted to be famous, so here's your chance to make a name for yourself by doing something honorable. Claiming territory for your country and throwing everyone else who lives there out of it.
I'm not sure I'm ready, sir. I've never actually seen battle. I mean, I was last in my class at West Point. There must be someone else to send. I'm an administrative beta. Whoa, I'm an administrative.
If you don't decide to be a man now, you may never get the chance. I'm giving you an opportunity to get your dream. Take it. And get a few hairs on that chest while you're at it. I promise that if you succeed in claiming this land, everyone will know the name Cappy Pickett.
I've been wanting to talk about that nickname, sir. I'm not technically a captain yet.
Win this for me and I'll consider it. This will be easy. We are just going to scare them, and once they see our troops, they will admit defeat. You'll be known around the world as the man who defeated the British Army.
Okay. I'll do it, sir.
Fantastic! I'll make a man out of you yet. But remember, we aren't there to start a war. We're there to defend ourselves. So you are ordered not to fire unless they shoot first. You hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
All right. You ship out tomorrow. I'm taking a chance on you, boy. So don't make me regret it.
I won't let you down, sir.
Exit CAPPY. Lights out. Scene 7. Bellevue Farms. Lyman, Daniel, and Joshua sit comfortably in their makeshift Fort Freedom, which Daniel is putting the finishing touches on. Lyman and Daniel are gathered around a fire. Lyman is drawing. Daniel is whittling the details of a very patriotic sculpture into the fort. Joshua is just roasting marshmallows.
We've been here for 3 nights, men. We've made great progress. Daniel, you're nearly finished with your sculpture.
Just gotta add the bald eagle.
Tasteful. Joshua, you've perfected the s'more.
The trick is holding it close to the ember and only flipping the marshmallow once it hits that perfect golden brown.
Cinnamon is a nice touch. Keep it up. And most importantly, I've been making these signs.
He holds up protest signs. They say, "Squeal for America. This is our land, we stole it first." And "Make Harrow straight again."
I mean, we've all worked real hard, but I'm not sure Charles is getting the message. Maybe add more glitter?
You always were the artistic one, brother. Good idea. Oh, good. Margot's here with our rations. What did you bring us today, dear?
More beer, I hope.
I didn't bring anything. It's time to come home, Lyman. You've been out here for 3 days, and I need your help at home.
We're just getting started. If we leave now, Charles wins. Is that what you want? We have to do this for our country.
Really? Because it seems like you've just been making crafts and drinking yourself silly. You've done nothing but goof off. There is actual work to be done at home, and I can't do it all by myself anymore.
We haven't been goofing off. I don't expect you to understand, honey. This is a man's affair. I'll be home just as soon as the Brits back down. I owe it to my country.
Lyman, please, stop playing fake patrol guard. The roof has sprung a leak, and the stairs are making that weird creak sound again. Also, you said you were going to bury that rotting donkey 3 months ago. It's already starting to smell.
I'll be home soon. I'll fix all of that, I promise. But America needs me to be here. I don't want to leave you alone. I wish I could be there to help you, but you gotta understand, this is bigger than us. This is about principle.
Fine. Don't bother coming home then. Just wait out here and keep making your dumb signs for America if that's what's more important to you than your wife.
She's right. No more waiting out. We have to act. What can we do to show Charles that we mean business?
What if we put a flaming sack with a cow patty in it on his porch and then ring the doorbell and run? When he comes out, he'll stomp it out, and then he'll get dookie all over his shoes.
That's hilarious.
That's why I love you. Come on, let's do it.
We see them set up the prank and then run away. They rush back to their camp giggling.
That was so awesome.
We really showed him, huh, guys? He almost saw us.
What's he doing now?
It looks like he's setting up some kind of machine. Does he have weapons? Should we get more weapons?
I think it's a catapult. He's filling it with something. Ah, incoming! Take cover!
Rotten cabbage flies in from above and covers the men in filth.
Oh, gross! Rotten cabbage!
It got in the s'mores stuff. Ugh, that dick.
Not cool. We need to get back at him. What if we put a cow patty in his mailbox, so that way, when he goes to get the post, he reaches in?
Wait, guys, look, a boat.
It's a naval boat. Harney must have gotten our letter.
I knew he'd come. I can't wait for you guys to meet him. This dude is seriously badass. Ruthless. He once stabbed the guy in the face because he sneezed on him. It was awesome.
Enter Cappy Pickett.
Evening, gentlemen.
Who are you? Where's General Harney?
My name is Honorary Captain James Pickett, but my friends call me Cappy. General Harney sent me along with the 66 men of the 9th Infantry to support your battle against the British.
Finally!
Welcome. We appreciate the help.
I can see that you need it. What is that all over you? Cabbage? It smells worse than my Buddy Williams socks after practice. Where is the rest of your militia?
It's just us, sir. I'm Lyman Cutler. This is my brother, Daniel, and Joshua Cook. We've done our best to defend our land, and this cabbage is just a stupid prank. We're legit now that you're here. Let's storm this bastard and take back our land.
I'm under strict orders from General Harney to hold fire until the other side shoots. Where is the other side, by the way? All I see is sheep. I thought this was about pigs.
Well, it's really just Charles Griffin at the moment. Everyone else is probably just too scared.
Please make yourselves at home. We've set up our tents here. Over by the river is what we call the chill zone. There's drinks and checkers. No girls allowed, obviously. Oh, and if you have to dump, do it on Old Man Griffin's porch.
Nice. You know, I learned this trick at the academy when we were trying to get back at our rival lacrosse team, that if you put it in a bag and light it on fire, he has to stomp it out and he'll get shit on his shoes.
Way ahead of you. Hey, you're cool. Oh, this is gonna rule. Welcome to Fort Freedom.
Happy to be here. I'll have the men start setting up. You heard them, men. Stop making camp there by the chill zone. Dinner at 1800 hours.
So, Cappy. May I call you Cappy?
By all means, go ahead. I'm hoping we all can become friendly with another.
I was gonna ask, what's Harney like? Lyman's really been talking him up.
Harney's a bit of a lone wolf, renegade type, but between you and me, he's really a big softy. He took me in after my dad was murdered by a tribe of men he was hunting for sport.
Oh, God.
Totally badass.
Yeah, Harney put me through academy at West Point and has been trying to make me a soldier out of me ever since, and he totally did, by the way. I'm super legit.
Wow, West Point? I wish I could have gone to college. Sounds like a constant party.
It was mostly training and grueling work, but I did find a slice of heaven in the Harmoniacs, my a cappella barbershop quartet. I haven't been able to find friends like that since I graduated. I even stayed a few extra years just to hang out with them. Had to flunk out all my classes, but it was worth it.
You know, we dabble in singing. If you ever want to jump in as a fourth, you're more than welcome.
I mean, only for fun, usually. We're probably nothing compared to the Harmoniacs, but we really appreciate you coming out here to help.
Seriously, I think I'm gonna like it here.
Lights out. Scene 8, Bellevue Farms. Charles sits on his porch with binoculars. He is observing the fort and taking notes. Julia enters with a cup of tea.
Charles, take a break. They've been playing beer pong for the last hour.
Counted 66 men. They could easily overthrow the farm. I need to be vigilant.
What are you going to do?
I've reached out to General Douglas. As soon as he hears about these soldiers, I'm sure he'll send backup.
Don't you think we should just wait them out? They seem quite harmless.
That's what they want us to think. It's a strategy. Have you checked the post today?
Yes, but there was only a turd in there and this very stinky letter, but I couldn't read from who. It got a bit smeared.
Bring it here.
All right, here it is, but leave it outside when you're done. I don't want it stinking up the whole house. Oh, and when you're done stalking, I need you to go move the sheep to the back pasture.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Give it here. My dear friend Charles.
Lights out. Spotlight on Governor James Douglas, who recites his letter.
I have issued orders to Captain Geoffrey Phipps Hornby of the British Man-of-War Tribune to land a force of Royal Marines on the island. Although I am fully within my rights to issue these orders, some higher-ranking British naval officers have advised me against this course of action because it is contrary to Royal Navy policy in the Pacific. To that I say pish-posh. You are my friend, and I will help expel these Yankee fiends from your land. It's no biggie. I've got, a ton of ships. Expect our help within the week. I've instructed Hornby to invite Captain Pickett to parley with him aboard the Tribune and squash this. God be with you, and give my best to Julia.
XOXO Douglas. Julia, he's sending warships!
Warships? That seems excessive. And where are they going to dock? We will have to house the Will we have to house the whole Royal Navy here too? I'm barely able to get the chores done with these squatters around, let alone more.
I would house 1,000 soldiers if they're coming to help us.
This is getting out of hand. Can't you just talk to Lyman and the captain and put an end to this? I don't think we need warships. I'll talk to them if you won't.
No, you don't understand, dear. As a loyal patriot, I must protect this land. I won't let stupid Lyman mug me or our nation off. It's about principle. Now, could you start dinner? I'm gonna go watch a bit longer.
You're ridiculous.
Lights out. Scene 9, Cutler's house. Margot drags on a large barrel. She gets it to the chicken coop. She relaxes, leans on the barrel, knocking it over and spreading feed all over the ground.
Damn it!
Enter Julia with a basket of veggies and jams.
You should really scoop your feed into a panning tin and sprinkle it instead of dragging the whole damn barrel over.
Thanks. I'll remember that next time.
I noticed your garden was looking a bit sad, so I brought you a few things.
My garden is perfectly content, thank you.
All right then, here you go. I'll just leave you to it. But if I may offer a bit of advice, you really should be planting your beans on the west end to get the longest exposure.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, thanks.
Don't mention it.
Margot expects her to leave, but she begins walking around their garden.
No, this is all wrong. You've got your potatoes next to your pumpkin patch. You have to spread them out or the roots will steal all the water from the spuds.
Really? Where should I plant them then?
Move them over to where you have the tomatoes planted. While you're at it, forget about the tomatoes. You shouldn't plant those until spring or else they'll freeze.
Okay. I guess I don't know what I'm doing at all.
Well, you're doing just fine, considering you've done it all alone.
Don't remind me. I'm so mad at Lyman. I don't know how to make him understand that if I can't make this work, we will both starve. Thanks for the advice, Julia, but I have to ask, why are you helping me? Aren't you upset about Porky and Lyman and the soldiers?
I am, and I'm still waiting on that $100. But I'm not going to be fighting my husband's stupid battles for him. I can't let this go on any longer, and I need your help. I've just found out that Charles has convinced Governor Douglas to send 3 warships to the island. This whole mess is getting out of hand.
Warships? Julia, this is serious. What if they start killing each other?
They very well might. Charles has become obsessed. I barely recognize him. I'm upset about Porky too, don't get me wrong, but this is outrageous. I don't think this is even about our pig anymore. Once he saw those soldiers on our farm, he turned into a man I don't know, angry and spiteful. I was concerned when the soldiers arrived, but they don't seem very interested in fighting. I thought they would just go on putting shit in our postbox, but once those ships dock, it will be another story. You need to talk to Lyman, try to convince him to send the men home.
I've tried to talk to him, but he is so prideful. He won't listen to me. He never listens to me. He's unreachable at this point. But what can we do? Talk to the captain? From what I've seen, he's a complete dope, and plus, he'd never listen to us. We're just women.
It may be different where you come from, but here, women can do a lot. I was able to start the Timber Day Festival all by myself as a woman, and no one seemed to mind.
Hosting a festival isn't the same as negotiating a war, Julia. Oh, Lord, they're really going to war over this. I can't believe it's gone this far. I am here busting my ass every day trying to keep us from starving, and now I have to worry if my husband will be killed in a war over a pig. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I feel completely powerless.
I understand, and I feel just as worried. But we are not powerless. We will figure out a way to reach them and stop this before it goes any further. If the captain won't listen to us, maybe there's someone else who will.
Like who? What are you going to do? Write the Prime Minister?
Precisely. Oh, Margot, that's a wonderful idea. Governor Douglas said that his higher-ups told him not to send the ships. If we tell them Douglas sent them anyway, they'll surely have to stop him and put an end to this.
Sure, that may stop the warships, but what are we going to do about the battalion of men camped on your lawn? If they stay, eventually Douglas will have to do something.
You write to that angry-looking fella that runs the States. There's no way news of this tiny scuffle has made it to Washington yet, and I'm sure he wouldn't be keen on starting another war with Britain. America's just getting over the first one.
President Buchanan. I don't know. This is a long shot, Julia. How do we know they'll listen to us?
We don't, but we have to try. Come on, let's go get my parchment and figure out what we're going to say.
Lights out. Scene 10, Fort Freedom. Cappy, Lyman, Daniel, and Joshua are hanging out in the chill zone.
No way you fit the whole thing in your mouth.
No cap, even the stem.
Wow.
Whoa.
Man, you're pretty cool. I was kind of stressed when I started this whole war thing, but it hasn't been half bad. Thanks to you.
That seriously means a lot to me. I was nervous, too.
You? No way, dude. You probably do this stuff all the time working for Harney.
Yeah, all the time, totally. I mean, I'm kind of Harney's right-hand man, so it's no big deal. But you guys aren't like any other militias I've helped. Can I tell you guys a secret?
Anything, man.
My first battle.
Ours too. Don't worry, we'll get through it together. Learn as we go.
Seriously? You guys are like my best friends.
Should we all open a bar when this is over?
Yes? What should we call it?
You guys see that boat?
That's a terrible name for a bar. How many has this guy had? Okay, he's cut off.
No. I mean that boat, and that one, and that one.
They all stand and gaze off the shore.
Oh boy. I think we have company.
I can handle this. Just let me talk to them. I'm trained for this.
Cappy makes a makeshift bullhorn out of one of Lyman's posters.
Hello! Who are you?
Captain Geoffrey Phillips Hornby, commander of the British Man-of-War Tribune of the Nation of Britain. Who are you?
Captain James Edward Pickett of Oregon's 9th Infantry, but friends call me Cappy. What do you want?
Requesting permission to come ashore. I just want to talk to your commanding officer.
I am the commanding officer. You were rude, so denied. Oh my god, you guys, that felt cool. Did it sound cool?
Well, hold on. I think maybe we should hear them out.
What if it's a trap? What if they attack us?
We have guns.
Okay, good point. I'll talk to them. Okay, but only send out one guy and promise me this isn't a trap or anything.
I promise!
Okay, see you soon!
Okay, battle stations? Can I call for battle stations?
I'm officially making all of you honorary soldiers, okay? When he gets here, just stand up super tall and don't talk.
I'm scared!
Shh, he's coming.
Enter via rowboat Captain Geoffrey Phipps Hornby.
Hello, sir. What can we do for you today?
You can stand down. I have received word that you and your soldiers have been antagonizing an innocent British soldier.
He antagonized us first.
Really, because what I'm seeing here are a bunch of Yankee radicals trespassing on this poor man's lawn. I have here an extract of Secretary of State Marcy's communication saying that the Hudson Bay Company takes ownership of this whole island.
He hands him the letter.
This letter is 4 years old. Talking about some irrelevant bullshit that doesn't mean anything now.
Well, on what terms have you occupied the land?
I have done so orders from the general commanding this territory in order to protect the lives of these American citizens. General Harney is acting under orders of the government in Washington. On what terms do you think you can come to occupy this island, huh?
Here, look for yourself. I have my own orders from Governor James Douglas, and they say you have to stand down. And this letter is from yesterday. Check the date.
He hands Cappy another letter.
As an officer of the United States Army, I will follow my general's orders and not those of a British governor.
As the United States has occupied a disputed island with a military force, it is incumbent on Britain to take similar action. And I don't think you want that. My warships are huge, each one carrying 1,000 men and 50 battle-ready cannons each.
Compensating much?
I heard that. We're not going anywhere.
Well, neither are we.
Fine.
Fine. I'm under orders from my government. I cannot allow any joint occupation of the island before I communicate with and hear from General Harney. Should you see fit to act otherwise, you will then be the person who will bring a most unfortunate and disastrous difficulty, and not the United States officials.
Well, maybe I'll just go back on board and get some of those cannons ready, just in case.
Cool, I don't care. You do that.
Fine.
Fine.
Hornby gets back in his rowboat and sails off, flipping them the bird.
Oh, real mature.
Pappy, what was that? He's gonna get his cannons ready? We can't take on those ships.
Yeah, he said he's got like 3,000 men.
He's bluffing. Whatever. I'm going to send a letter to Harney, and he'll just send us more soldiers. Then in 2 to 3 weeks, they'll really see what they're dealing with.
Lights out. Scene 11, correspondence. In the blackout, the fort is replaced with 2 desks. Lights up on desk 1, Fort Freedom.
Dear General Harney, the Royal Navy has sent 3 massive warships to dock in the Harrow Strait. I'm worried that our 66 men may not be enough to hold them out. I did what you said and told Captain Hornby the orders were coming directly from Washington, but he didn't care. I think we need backup. What should I do? XOXO, CAPPY.
Lights out. Desk 2 becomes the desk of Harney at Fort Bishop. Lights up on desk 2, Fort Bishop.
Dear Pickett, we will not be backing down. I will be coming to San Juan, and I am sending 600 more men your way. We just need to show that oily prick Douglas that we're serious, and he will back down. Also, don't go spreading the whole Washington ordered this thing around, because it may not be entirely true, but I'm sure President Buchanan will agree that that we need to protect what is ours. XOXO, Harney.
Lights out. The stage is still split between the 2 desks. Julia and Margot sit at a desk together, drafting their letters.
Well, I suppose we just start at the beginning?
I still think this is a long shot, but here goes nothing. Dear President James Buchanan.
Dear Prime Minister Smith Stanley.
We're at war.
Lights out on desk 1. Lights up on desk 2, the Oval Office. President James Buchanan sits at his desk, agonizing over work. General Winfield Scott enters slowly but with great intention.
General Scott, any word from the South? I worry that if we wait any longer, the tensions will rise to war.
No, unfortunately, we have another problem. Mr. President, you should see this.
He hands the president a newspaper.
Please, read it.
Another problem? I don't have time to worry about anything but the impending division of this united nation. What could be happening that deserves to take my attention away from a civil war?
Lights down. Lights up on desk 1, now an office of Downing Street. Prime Minister Edward Smith Stanley sits in the same way as Buchanan, agonizing over the work in front of him. Admiral Robert Baines enters with great intention.
Prime Minister, do you have a moment?
I am quite busy with finalizing these bridge plans. Can't it wait, Baines?
It will just take a moment, sir, but I have a message of great importance. There seems to be some issues with America.
What kind of issues?
Lights out. Lights up on desk 2, the Oval Office.
Well, you see, sir, have you heard of San Juan Island?
Is that Caribbean?
No, sir. It's actually on the western border with Canada.
Oh, you mean that little island we got as, like, a bonus along with the Oregon Territory? What of it?
Well, 600 of Harney's troops are currently defending it from 3 British warships.
What? Why?
It all started with a pig, sir.
A pig?
Yes.
What?
Lights down. Lights up on desk 1, Downing Street.
A pig. It's a small farm animal.
I know what a pig is, you idiot. I mean, what did this pig do to justify 600 men and 3 warships without my consent?
It seems an American settler, Lyman Cutler, had shot a Hudson's Bay Company employee's pig. Cutler was sent for his arrest by a British officer, and this led them to start questioning the border and proper ownership of the island, and things got out of hand.
I distinctly remember in the treaty drafting for the 49th parallel that we said to split the channel down the middle. Did they try that?
They did, sir, but apparently there are 2 ways to classify the middle.
Lights down. Lights up on desk 2, the Oval Office.
The middle is the middle. What do you mean, 2 ways?
Well, no one clarified which strait would be the middle. So both Americans and Brits have been living there. But now they want to declare another war to claim proper ownership of the land.
Are you kidding me? I really do not have time to get into another war with Britain. We just got rid of them. We have our own problems to deal with here. Half of my country is trying to secede.
The conflict keeps escalating.
Lights up on both sides as Scott and Baines speak in unison.
What would you like us to do, sir?
I trust that you will be able to handle the situation, Baines. Write back to him and tell him you will be coming to San Juan to lead a de-escalation of the situation. Meet with all of the involved parties and negotiate a compromise.
Of course, sir. I will prepare to leave right away.
Lights out on desk 1.
We have to send somebody. Harney is a buffoon, and we'll keep pushing unless we send someone to remove him. Maybe send him to some remote base. I thought Oregon would be far enough, but even from the other side of the country, he's still a pain in my ass. Everyone even half capable of handling this is down south. I don't have anyone left.
Well, I could go, sir.
You? Aren't you a little old to be dealing with war?
I am as sharp as ever, sir.
Well, you are the only general still here, so okay, I suppose you can go. Already the steamer Star of the West. It's a long journey, so try to stay alive until you get there.
Lights out. Scene 12, Cutler's house. Lyman enters from the fort and approaches the house where Margot is frantically gardening and mending the house.
Honey, you won't believe it. Harney is sending 600 more men. We may finally have a chance at this. Sure, they will still have more, but we have the island.
600 more men? Where will they stay? You're turning our home into a war zone. I thought we came here for peace, to finally settle. How do you expect us to settle on a battlefield?
It may be ugly for a while, but once we win, we can finally settle knowing that we have the right to be here. That this is our truthful home.
No, Lyman. I've heard that before. It's rough now, but it will get better. I fell in love with you because you dream so big, but I'm sick of waiting for it to get better. We have been run out of every home we've had.
We're not going to have to leave. We're going to win because we're fighting for justice.
You're fighting over a pig!
This isn't about the pig.
Then what is it about, Lyman?
It's not that simple. All these men are counting on me. There's a meeting with all the generals for negotiations, and they pick me to represent the soldiers. I owe it to them to see through what I've started.
What do you owe to me?
I love you. I'm doing all of this for you. For us.
Were you really doing this for us? Because I have been alone, building our home alone, caring for our farm alone since the day we got here. We are barely getting by. The only crops that have survived are the beans, and we can't live off beans, Lyman. I have been getting food from Julia and Daniel's farms. Do you realize we're going to starve? So obviously you're not doing this for our farm. Are you doing this for your country? The same country we trekked across, never able to catch a break? What allegiance do you have for the country that broke every promise it's made to us? The only thing that leaves is yourself. You must be doing this for yourself because that's the only person who benefits from all this. We will finally get the chance to win like you've always wanted.
I have won. We have always wanted to place of our own, and we finally got it. But now the English are trying to steal it from us. I want to be here to help you, Margot, but I can't just sit back and watch them take her home. I'm going to talk to them at the meeting, see if we can get them to surrender.
Don't go to the meeting. I need you to stay here with me. If you care about me at all, you will stay and finally help me.
I have to go, Mar. They're all counting on me.
And they're all fools because you are the least dependable person I know. Go to your stupid meeting. I'm going to Julia's. Remember to water the beans.
Margot, stop! Wait! It will all be over soon. You'll see. I promise.
Lyman sits, defeated, on the steps of the front porch and looks around at the garden. He gets up and examines the rows of vegetables, seeing how much things have changed without him even noticing. Lights out. Intermission.
All right, that's intermission. So we're going to be taking a 10-minute break. So I'll see everyone back at 8:13. All right, welcome back, everybody, to Act 2 of the Pig War.
Scene 13. Fort Freedom. Charles, Hornby, Douglas, and Baines sit across a table from Lyman, Pickett, Harney, and Scott. They glare at each other for a long moment before Scott, with great effort, stands from his chair.
I have gathered you all here because we need to hash this out.
Precisely what I was going to say. Don't worry, old chap. No need to get up. I will lead us in negotiations as I have been instructed to do by Prime Minister Smith Stanley.
Actually, I will take the lead if you don't mind, as I have been instructed to do by the President of the United States. The events that have gotten us here are outrageous.
Extremely outrageous, which is why I propose that we all meet and see if we can come to a fair agreement.
Well, technically I called the meeting, but like I was saying, we need to work together to figure this out.
Yes, together. So, I propose that we allow Governor Douglas to make the first proposition.
Hold on. Why does he get to go first? I would like to propose that I go first.
Well, I propose that you're an idiot.
See? If he isn't going to be civil, then this douchebag shouldn't get to talk first.
Oh, how civil of you, Harney, you rubbish little muppet.
Don't talk to him like that. I second that Harney should talk.
Well, I second that Douglas should talk.
Do me for it. Man to man.
Enough. I will talk first. I'm the oldest.
Agreeing that this is fair, they all sit.
All right then. Governor Douglas, you deployed 3 warships containing 3,000 members of the Royal Navy against the Royal Navy policy of the Pacific, and without consent of your government to handle a dispute over a pig. What do you have to say for yourself?
I think anyone in my position would have done the same thing. I was notified by an Honor Hudson's Bay Company employee that he was wronged. It was that farmer who started all of this by involving Harney. So, in response to Harney's invasion of our island, I made the calculated decision to defend our great nation from an illegal act of terror.
It wasn't an act of terror. It was just a pig. I had every right to eliminate the trespasser from my property. Anyone in my position would have done the same thing. I wouldn't have had to contact Harney if Charles had just accepted my fair compensation. That pig is the real terrorist in all of this.
Your property is property of the crown. You had no right to kill Porky.
Hey, gentlemen, please. Can we please get back on track?
Yes, can we please get back on track?
Then you stop interrupting me.
I wouldn't have to interrupt you if you didn't talk so annoyingly slow. How old are you anyways? I'm not sure you're suited to handle such an important negotiation.
Oh yeah? I'm not too old to knock you on your ass.
Bring it on!
Duel!
No. This is exactly what we are trying to avoid. Now let's all settle this calmly, like men.
Fine. General Harney, we obviously have you outnumbered, and if this conflict were to continue, we would surely annihilate your army. With this knowledge, how would you proceed?
Numbers are just a number. I'm not backing down that easily. This is America. American land, and I'm not going to let you bully it away from us. I'm not removing my men until you agree that San Juan's rightful owner is America.
Well, we're not moving those ships until you concede the island to Great Britain. I don't care what Baines or the Prime Minister says.
Hold on now. We can't just keep reinforcing both sides. We can barely fit the soldiers we have here now. There must be something we can do.
Arm wrestle.
You want a duel? You'll get one.
Wait! This gives me an idea. What if we re-examine the proposition of dual occupation?
So we are dueling.
No. I proposed dual occupation to Pickett back in August, but he was as much of a dick then as he is now.
Your proposition was horseshit.
Obviously, neither side is backing down, so dual occupation might be our only choice until we can officially declare an owner. I just honestly need this to end. I propose 50 men each.
50 men? That's nothing. I've killed 50 men for breakfast with a dull piece of glass and a bear tooth. How do we know that they won't just send another ship to clog up our ports?
I won't go less than 100 men.
100 men each, then. You can keep this pathetic fort, and we will make one of our own on the north side of the island.
Hey, do we agree on that?
I don't. That means my yard will be occupied by these dimwits? They spend all day partying and pissing and puking on my grass.
You're just jealous that I actually have friends.
I have friends. Shut up. No, it can't stay on my land.
Okay, we will move the base onto Lyman's property. Is that fair?
Fine. Just as long as they stay on their side.
You stay on yours. Margot isn't going to be too happy about this, but...
Hey, Governor Douglas, can you agree to the terms of joint military occupation consisting of no more than 100 men on each side?
I can. As long as Captain Pickett is not reinstated at the post.
What? No way. I'm the commander of these men. I should be able to stay.
Cappy's our leader. He can't leave.
Deal. If it means we can agree on dual occupation. Lewis Hunt will lead the men. I will reassign Captain Pickett. We could use him in the war anyways.
War? Like the Civil War? Like a real war? General Scott, you can't do this. Harney, well, tell him he can't do that.
It's about time you saw true combat. And if these little pig boys won't fight, maybe you should go.
No!
Then it's settled. 100 men each. Pickett is gone. I would say I handled that quite well.
Hey, you didn't do anything. I was the one who handled that.
Whatever gets you up in the morning, old man.
Harney, may I speak with you before we adjourn? Everyone else, you're excused.
Yeah, you're excused.
General Harney, well, I am here to defuse this stupid situation. I was also sent by Buchanan to reassign you. You will no longer be serving as general to the territory of Oregon. You are needed in St. Louis.
What will I be doing? Leading attacks for the war?
Not exactly. I have a letter here from Buchanan that reads, the highest obligation of my station compels me to suggest a doubt whether it be safe in respect to our foreign relations or just to the gallant officers and men of the Oregon Department to leave them longer at so great a distance, subject to the ignorance, passion, and caprice of the present headquarters of the department.
Really? Buchanan said that? That prick thinks he can just cart me off to the middle of nowhere and get rid of me. I won't go.
Then you are relieved of duty. He was prepared a comment in case you refused as well. The Departments of State and War, being of one mind, order him to turn over command to the officer next in rank and to repair without delay to Washington City and report in person to the Secretaries of State and War. XOXO Buchanan.
What?
You are an embarrassment to the United States, and your services will no longer be needed. We leave for Washington in the morning, so prepare your things. I call dibs on the bottom bunk in the train. I get up in the night to pee a lot. Good day.
What are we gonna do now, sir?
They can try to get rid of me, but I'll be damned if they're going to relieve you of command of this company. My boy, we have until tomorrow morning to figure out a way to keep you on this island. You'll get to stay. I promise you that.
Scene 14, moving the forts, Cutler's house. Groups of American soldiers work to rebuild Fort Freedom in front of the Cutler's house. In doing so, they've cleared out Margot's garden and destroyed their yard. Lyman is running around trying to prevent further damage to the garden. A soldier plops a pile of wood down on top of the bean patch.
Hey, watch the beans. Can you put those somewhere else?
A group of soldiers swing a log around, crashing into the chicken coop, breaking the roof.
Guys, the coop! My wife worked really hard on that. Have some respect, please. This is still a home.
Enter Daniel and Joshua.
Thank God you two are here. I need some help with crowd control. Margot's gonna kill me when she finds out we had to move camp, so I'm trying to at least salvage her garden.
We actually need to talk to you, Lyman. I can't really help out with the war stuff anymore.
What do you mean?
With all the new soldiers on the island, my sculpting business is booming. I guess some of the guys saw my work at the port when they came in. I have 15 new orders today alone. I can't miss this opportunity, you understand?
No, actually, I don't understand. You're my brother. You can't just abandon me. What about your country? Your dumb bears aren't that important.
They aren't dumb! I finally have a chance to make a name for myself. I thought you'd be happy for me.
Well, I'm not. I need your help.
No, you don't. You've got a whole army. I'm not a soldier. I'm an artist.
And what about you, huh? What's your excuse?
Laurel's pregnant again, and at least half of the kids have the flu. I need to be back home to help out. I can't just abandon my family. I have responsibilities.
You seem pretty happy to avoid those responsibilities yesterday.
Yeah, well, I can't avoid them forever. Sorry, Lyman, but we're not needed here anymore. The army has got this under control.
So that's it? You're just giving up. What about taking what is ours? Fighting for our freedom? USA! 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 USA!
Fades off while waiting for Daniel and Joshua to chime in. They both awkwardly stand.
I'm sorry, Lyman, but we just can't do this forever. We have other stuff going on. We're still here to support you, but we can't be hanging around the camp every day. I gotta get back to work.
Bye, Lyman.
This is bullshit! I thought you were my friends. Fine, go. I don't need you. I don't need anyone.
Lyman continues cleaning up the mess of the soldiers. Enter Lewis Hunt. He finds a place on the porch to address the men.
Excuse me. Hey, could I get everyone's attention over here? Quiet coyotes, everyone. Eyes and ears here, please. Thank you.
The men stop their work and gather around.
Great. Okay. I'm Captain Lewis Hunt. I was just brought in by General Scott to lead you. I know you all were sad to see Captain Pickett go, but let's use this opportunity to start fresh and fix a few things up around here. I have some ideas, but before we start, I was hoping we could go around and say our names, where we are from, a fun fact. I'll go first. My name is Captain Hunt. I'm originally from Chicago. Go Bears. Has anybody ever visited Chicago? No? Okay, well, you gotta go if you get the chance. All right, and the fun fact about me is I blow glass. Bowls, cups, vases, you name it, I've blown it. It's just how I relax. Blow off steam. That's a little glass blower's joke. Thank you. Okay. How about you, guy, shortstop up front? What's your story?
He points to a soldier in the crowd, and the attention moves to the edge of the forest. Enter Harney and Cappy, wearing ill-fitting soldiers' uniforms and fake mustaches as a disguise.
All right, boy. We have 2 hours before the boat leaves for Oregon. I put General Scott down for a nap, but he'll have to get up to pee eventually, so we have to do this fast. There's Hunt.
Should I go talk to him, captain to honorary captain, and explain the situation? I'm sure he would understand and be happy to relinquish the battalion.
No, I've heard of Hunt. He captained a battalion during the Mexican War and is renowned for being extremely loyal to his men. We're going to have to take him out with force. I have a plan. We just have to wait for some men to look away, and then we snatch him. We will tie him up, drop him in a rowboat, and send him out to sea. While you're pretending to say goodbye to the men, you will find a note he has left. You'll read it, and it will say that he left because he's a prissy little bitch who couldn't handle the responsibility or live up to your legacy, and bada bing, bada boom, you've reassigned your position with the men.
Are you sure this is the best plan, sir?
What could go wrong? With Lewis out of the picture, you will be the only viable option. I'll make sure old Scott never knows.
What if he rows back?
There aren't any oars in the boat. The current will take him down to Mexico by morning. He'll start a new life there. I've been. It's nice. Sandy beaches and lots of fine women. He will be just fine. He's just finishing up his speech. I'll hide here, and once he's done, you lure him over here, and we'll get him.
Lights return to Hunt and the soldiers.
Okay, now that we all know a little bit about each other, I just gotta say, I promise to usher in a new era of this war. I promise to be a humble captain and lead you all to victory. Now, get back to work. Let's friggin' win this thing.
The men cheer and then disperse.
Now here's your opportunity. Go talk to him.
Cappy slinks over to Hunt on the porch and puts on an obviously fake accent.
Excuse me, Captain. I have to show you something over behind that bush. I think it might be a British booby trap. There's a big hole but it has a bear in it and a bunch of snakes and British snakes, and as the new captain, I think you should see it. Would you mind taking a look?
Well, I don't see why not. Wow, just jumping right in. See, I thought we would do some more get-to-know-you games before we got to a mission. But, yeah, okay, we can do them after. What did you say your name was?
I'm a Private Ronald Jenkinson Bergenson.
I knew a Mark Jenkinson to Bergeson back in Chicago. Nice guy. Any relation? You ever been to Chicago?
No, but I'd love to go someday. Should we get to see that trap I was talking to you about?
They walk out of sight from the camp.
Okay, what did you want me to see?
This!
Harney sneaks up from behind him and puts a bag over his head.
Tie his legs up, boy. I'll get his arms. Oh, man, been a while since I properly kidnapped. Feels good to be back at it. No, he's squirming too much.
Don't worry, sir, I got this.
Cappy hits him over the head with a large branch, knocking Hunt out cold. His limp body lies across Harney's lap.
Well done, Pickett. That was a clean shot. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
I really didn't have much hope in you, but you've shown me today that you'll be just fine without me. Maybe not as tough as I would like you to be, but you got things done in your own way. I'm going to get him on the boat. You will get your job back. Goodbye. Oh, but before I go, I think you deserve a promotion. Captain Pickett.
Wait, sir, you mean it? I'm a real captain now.
Yes. Now go and command your men.
Thank you, sir, but what are you going to do?
Don't worry about me. There are natives and plenty of unjustified killing to be done in St. Louis. I'm sure I'll find a way.
I love you, sir.
At ease, Captain.
Exit Harney, carrying Hunt's body over his shoulder. Cappy takes a deep breath and returns to the camp, taking a place on the porch to address the men.
Attention! All right, men, I'm back and we will be your captain from here on out.
Cappy, you're back? What happened to Captain Hunt?
He left on the boat with Scott and Harney. He left this note. It says, "Dear men, I will not be able to lead you because I am too scared. I'm returning to Chicago and reinstating Captain Pickett as your commander because he is so awesome and way braver than me. Go Bears! XOXO Hunt." You heard him, men. I'm back to stay. What do you say we all go celebrate down at the tavern? A round on me.
You guys go on ahead. Let me grab my jacket.
The men disperse, exposing Margot as Lyman exits into the house without noticing her. She walks around the fort for a while, seeing what's happened to her home. Enter Lyman.
Oh, Margot. I was just going to...
We were going to the tavern. With them.
Yeah, I am. We're going to celebrate Cappy's reinstatement. But that can wait. I think we should talk. Sure, you've noticed the fort?
Yep.
I know that the last time we talked, I said I would try to put an end to this, and I know how it looks, but this is actually a good thing because everyone came to an agreement. We each get 100 soldiers and split the island down the middle till we can come up with some other plan to figure out how to win this.
Okay.
I know you must be mad. Don't worry, I made sure none of the men will be coming anywhere near the house or your garden. You know, some of the guys almost stepped all over your bean patch, but I stopped them. I'm gonna build a fence to protect our house. You're not even gonna notice that they're there, really. I'll soundproof the walls and I'll reinforce the windows. There's no bathroom in the fort yet, but I'll build them now house so they're not using ours. I know it's not ideal, but it's all part of the plan. The fort is within our property line, so once we win, we can keep it. I was thinking we could turn it into like, I don't know, condo or something? Maybe even rent it out to make some extra money.
I don't care what you do, Lyman. I'm tired. I think I'm just gonna go home.
We are home?
This isn't my home. I haven't been home since I left Moss Farm.
What do you mean? We bought this place together. Everything we went through to finally get here, we did together. This place is as much yours as anyone's. I know it's been crazy, but everything I've done since we got here has been to protect our home, so that one day we can make it just like I promised we would. You remember what I said to you in Kansas when we found out all the land was gone? I promised you that we wouldn't keep searching until we found a place of our own. But I would never give up. You remember that? Well, we've got a porch with 2 chairs, just like you wanted, and a big oak tree, and I swear tomorrow I'm gonna build a white picket fence. But do you understand that none of that is gonna matter unless I win? I have to win this for us so that our land can actually be ours. I have to win so that I can keep my promise to you.
My name isn't on the deed, Lyman. This is your land. Protect it if you want. Thanks for keeping your promise. You bought us a house. But I'm going home.
Margot, wait. Margot, hold on, don't go. Max, let's talk about this. Don't just walk away. You can't just go. Are you really just gonna walk all the way back to Ohio alone? You'll die. This is stupid, Margot. You can't go. You don't have any water, you don't have a gun. You'll die out there. Margot, I'm serious. Come back here. Margot. I promised you I'd build a house, and I did it. What more do you want from me? I'm doing all this for you. I built this house for you. I shot the fucking pig to make you happy. I started a war for you. Don't you understand that? You think I always wanted to be fighting in this war? I don't. But I am, so that we can finally have what you wanted. I left everything and everyone I knew behind and trekked across the country to get us land because you said you wanted a house. When that didn't work, I found a way to get us to California so that I could get us gold. So that I could provide for you and your house. I could have worked on Pa's farm and been happy. I could have married Betty Wheeler. Bet she would have been grateful and that I spent my entire fucking life working my ass off to get her a house. Margot, are you even listening? Maybe I should have married Betty Wheeler. What do you think about that? Everything I've ever done for you was to keep this stupid promise. I got you a house, damn it! I built you the stupid house you wanted!
Lyman kicks the porch and a post falls from the railing.
I gave you this stupid garden that can't grow any stupid beans!
He grabs a shovel and starts smashing the beanstalks.
I kept my promise, Margot! I almost killed me a dozen times, but I kept my promise! I love you! I kept my promise!
He drops his hands and knees and starts uprooting the rest of the garden.
I kept my promise. I kept my promise. I swore I would get you a garden. I kept my promise. I don't understand what more I could show you that I care. Thought I was doing the right thing. I fucked up, Margot. Okay, are you happy? I admit it. I shouldn't have shot the pig. You told me not to. But the crops wouldn't grow, and I knew I couldn't let you down again. I couldn't fail again and force us to move on. This was supposed to be the last stop on our great adventure. When I heard her squealing, all I could think is, this is it. You finally made it to your own place, and Margot has her house, and it's all going to be taken away by a pig. I did let you down. I failed. I lost. Because I'm a loser. Just because you believe in me doesn't mean I wasn't always a loser. Daniel knew I was a loser, so he left. Joshua knew I was a loser, so he left me too. I must have always been a loser. Why did you stick around so long? Why did you put up for me so long, Margot? Now I've lost you too. I've nothing. I am nothing.
Lyman wipes his face and stands up, looking at the destruction he has just caused.
I can fix it. I'll fix it, Margot. I'm not going to give up on us.
He picks up the shovel. He starts to scoop the dirt back into place and tries to stand the beanstalks upright. They keep falling down, and he gets frustrated.
Screw it. I'll just replant the whole garden. This time, I'll be here the whole time. It'll be even better than before. Just have to find the seeds.
He runs to the shed and grabs a bag of seeds and falls back to his knees to bury them in the ground. He gets a row done and smiles.
See, it's not too late. Just need a little water.
Lyman goes back to the shed but cannot find the watering can. He looks around the porch but can't find it there either. He goes all the way around the house, but the watering can is nowhere to be found. He runs to the stream and begins scooping water with his bare hands and running it over to the garden. But he trips over some wood from the unfinished fort and falls on his face. He lies there for a long moment. Enter Julia. She's carrying a basket full of bread, wrapped in cloth.
Lyman, are you here? I don't mean to be a nosy neighbor, but I heard some commotion from my house and wanted to check in. Oh, my. Are you all right?
I'm a loser.
Oh. Do you need some help up?
What's the point of getting up? Got nothing left. Just leave me here.
You sure? I brought you some bread. I'll just leave it here in case you want some later.
There isn't a cow patty in here, is there? Tell Charles I'm not in the mood right now.
No, there's no poo, just bread. Look.
Why are you here? Why are you bringing me bread?
I heard the yelling and I just wanted to see if you were all right. I told Margot I'd make an extra loaf for her today.
Well, she's not here.
Oh. I can go then. But you seem like you need someone to talk to.
Why would you want to talk to me after everything I've done to you? I trashed your yard. I waged war on your husband. I killed your pig.
Yes, you did. But we're still neighbors. One day I might need someone to talk to, and you're the closest.
Margot's gone.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. I quite liked her.
It's all my fault. All she ever wanted was somewhere we could call home. We never had one, but this was supposed to be our home. We spent so long trying to find a place where we wouldn't be run off or kicked out. Once we actually found it, I couldn't believe it. I needed the whole island, the whole country, to tell me that we actually belonged. I thought that if I could prove that San Juan was American, it would mean that we are safe here, that we're allowed to be here. But I got so caught up in everything, I completely forgot that she's my home. The only one I've had. Now she's gone. This place isn't even a house. It's just a shack and a patch of dirt. I abandoned my wife to protect a patch of dirt. I can't believe I was so stupid. I don't need to protect the dirt. This patch has been here since long before I bought it. It will be here long after I'm buried underneath it. Dirt is just dirt until you grow something in it. It becomes something to nurture and care for. Then it can become a home. I see now that Margot was trying to do that. I was just trying to own it. Dirt doesn't care who owns it.
I'm glad you see that now. I wish you'd figured that out before starting a war over it. But for what it's worth, I'm glad you moved on to the patch next to mine. I don't know if Margot will come back, but you do have a home here, if you want it.
Julia, wait. I'm sorry I killed Porky. I never should have shot her. I ruined everything. I turned your yard into a war zone because I was too scared to say that. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything.
It's okay, Lyman. It's just a pig.
Lights out. Act 2, Scene 1, Correspondence. The stage is set again with 2 desks. Spotlight on Julia, who has visibly aged, sitting at desk 1, writing a letter.
Margot, hello, dear friend. I hope all is well in Ohio. I've been busy getting everything ready for Timber Day. This year, we have added 2 new events and are even having a face painting station. It's bound to be a big hit. I got the fabrics you sent me. This is some of your finest needle points yet, although it's a little depressing.
Julia holds up and examines a pillow with a picture of a woman rowing a boat in a stream of her own tears.
I still like it, and I will put it with the others. But I'm worried about you. We've been talking back and forth almost every week over the years, and I haven't heard from you in nearly a month. What's going on? Be straight with me. You know we don't keep secrets. I told you about that gross thing on my back, which has stopped oozing, if you're wondering. You can tell me anything. Please respond so I know you're all right. Your friend, Julia.
Lights down. Spotlight on Margot at desk 2 in her small farmhouse in Ohio.
Julia, glad to hear that the festival planning is coming together and that you are well. I can't say the same. I'm sorry I haven't been consistent in writing to you. Since Ma has passed, things have been a little overwhelming here at the farm. It's reminding me of how I felt when I first moved to San Juan. The cows have stopped producing and the corn crop has been infected by mites. I can't afford to keep this place much longer. In a few weeks, I'll be completely out of money. A man has been coming around for the last few weeks offering to take the place off my hands, but I'm not sure. I told Ma I would look after it for her. It's been in our family for generations, and I don't know if I have the heart to sell my family home. But I'm not sure I have much of a choice. Plus, if I lose this place, I'll have nowhere to go. You've always helped me through times like these. What do you think I should do? XOXO, Margot.
Lights down. Lights up on desk 1.
Margot, I'm sorry to hear about your mother's passing and your difficulties keeping afloat, but this may actually turn out to be a good thing. What if you came back to San Juan? I've been over my head with the festival duties this year and could use your help as an assistant. I'd even pay you. And of course you could stay at Bellevue with Charles and me. Think about it. TTYL, Julia.
Lights down. Lights up on desk 2.
Julia, are you nuts? I swore I'd never come back to San Juan after the way I left that place. I don't know if I can handle that chaotic energy right now. As much as I want to see you, I can't imagine seeing Lyman again. Even thinking about his dumb face makes me angry. After the way we left things, I'd probably throw hands on sight if I saw him. I appreciate the offer, but it would just be too hard. I'll probably tough it out here. I've always found a way before. I'll figure something out. Maybe. Or just die here. Oh, God. Your girl, Margot.
Lights out. Lights up on desk 1.
Margot, come on. You're being a bit dramatic, don't you think? You'd rather starve than face your ex? That's not boss girl shit, and I thought we agreed to have a boss girl summer. I'm telling you, Ryan is super different now. You wouldn't even recognize him. So much has changed over the years. Come back and stay for a few weeks and see for yourself. If you really can't handle it, you can go home and starve. But my place is always open. Stay steezy, Julia.
Lights down. Lights up on desk 2. Margot has her bags packed next to her.
Julia, I will believe Lyman has changed when I see it with my own eyes. I sold the farm. I had no choice. I guess I'll see you in a few weeks. Can't wait to be back with you. See you soon. Margot.
Lights down. Scene 2, Cutler's house, 12 years later. Lyman's house now looks completely fixed up with a fresh coat of paint. Where Margot's garden patch was, now sits an impressively lush, gated garden with a water feature. A white picket fence runs around the perimeter of the house, separating it from the frat house that is now Fort Freedom. There's a couch in the overgrown grass outside the fort, and an American soldier is leaning on one wall, peeing while pounding a beer. He finishes and heads back inside. Enter Lyman. He is aged and now wears a large floppy hat and gardening gloves. He picks up a basket and heads to the garden to tend to his beans.
Hello, my lovelies. Wow, look how you've grown, Lima Bean. Peonies, you're looking especially perky this morning. Anyone thirsty? I know you are, Miss Daisy.
He begins to water the beans as the sound of a pig squealing is heard from behind the house.
Did you hear that, Miss Daisy? It's that dang pig again. Don't worry, I'll get her.
Lyman puts down his gardening tools and walks behind the house. A loud bang is heard. Lyman shortly returns holding a live pig and a gun.
Porky Jr., what did I tell you about playing around with guns? You could have been seriously hurt. And on the day of the Porky Swinest of All Time pageant, no less. Oh, shucks, I can't stay mad at you. You're too precious. I guess I'll just have to keep you where I can see you tonight. Until tonight. Who wants another blue ribbon? Who's a good little pig?
Porky Jr. squeals in response.
That's right, you are. Now, wait here till I get my squashes all bundled, and then we can get going soon.
Lyman bends over in the garden to pick and gather his extremely large veggies. Enter Daniel Cutler wearing a fashionable hat and scarf. He looks like a real artist. He sneaks in holding an abstract bearish statue and accidentally steps on Porky Jr.'s tail, causing her to cry out violently. Lyman twists around and screams, dropping his prized squash.
My squash! Daniel?
Gotcha. Hey, brother. Remember me?
What are you doing here? Thought you were still in Pasadena for CarveCon.
I left early. I'm only here for the weekend. I'm riding up to Judge Woodfest in Calgary on Monday, but I couldn't miss my pig nephew's big day.
Well, PJ and I are both happy you're here. You look great. You're really making a name for yourself out there. I saw your carvings on the cover of Better Logs and Lumber.
Oh, yeah? The Woodmans of the West issue?
That's the one. Everyone in town has read it. You're going to be swarmed at the festival.
Come on. Tonight, I'm not America's handsomest craftsman. I'm just Daniel. I'm back home, so I want this to be just like old times. See, you've still got our old Fort Freedom out here. Man, this was not my best work. Were you going to turn it into condos? I'm here for the whole weekend, after all, so I bet I could get in there and fix her up if you want.
Thanks, but technically, the war is still going on. It's more of a clubhouse than a base these days, though. All these damn recruits staying up all night, partying, puking on my petunias. Does remind me of our Wild Army days, though.
Whoa. You mean to tell me there's still soldiers on the island? I thought all of that ended years ago.
Nope. We just stopped negotiations after a while. No actual fighting, but the pranking got a little out of hand. Charles sent a bunch of expired hot dogs to the fort, so someone sprayed a bunch of sheep with red and white blue ding-dongs.
Someone?
Okay, fine. Joshua. But you didn't hear that from me. After that, we agreed to call it even, but the soldiers just kind of stayed. Never decided which strait was the middle. After looking at the new map, I'm pretty sure the President Channel is between San Juan and the Orcas should be the middle, but that's a hot take.
Man, we were really crazy back then.
Yeah. Well, the war's not totally over. The log climb is still always American versus Brit. You think you still got what it takes to take on Old Man Griffin?
As long as he leaves the slingshot at home, I might give it a go.
Oh, man. Is it 2 already? We have to go. PJ needs to be checked in 15 minutes. Daniel, grab the card.
Which one?
The biggest one, idiot.
Daniel and Lyman gather the veggies and pig supplies and swiftly exit. Lights out. Scene 3, the 12-year standoff. 2 forts sit on either side of the stage. There's a large red line that runs down the middle of the stage, separating the English camp from the American Fort Freedom. An English soldier peeks his head out the top of the camp, and the sound of a bugle horn is heard. Drums start to play as the English soldier enters from the fort and positions himself next to the center line. An American soldier peeks out from Fort Freedom, and another horn is heard. The soldier enters from the fort, takes his place next to the English soldier. They glare at each other for a moment, and then both begin stretching. Julia enters from the English camp and positions herself in the middle of the two soldiers. She has noticeably aged and holds in her hand a clipboard and whistle.
All right, men, let's not have a repeat of last year and keep this a fair and clean race. You know the rules. No pushing, biting, spitting, shoving, or tripping. No banana peels, oil slicks, big holes, or other unintended obstacles. The first one to run around their camp, touch the big tree next to the post office, and make it back here qualifies for the 12th annual Timber Day Fort Foot Race for the chance to compete against our reigning champion. At the sound of my whistle, go!
She blows the whistle, and both men take off running and exit behind their respective camps. Julia checks her watch, and then shortly both men enter and cross the line, tying.
As usual, too close to call. I have to go check on food and decorations. Grab a drink and we'll try again in an hour.
The winded men shake hands and exchange a good game before walking together off stage. Charles enters wearing his Union Jack singlet. He's aged as well, now sporting a long beard and walking with a cane.
Oh dear, the contestant isn't for hours. Why are you dressed in that? Don't you think it's time you retire that old thing? It's beginning to sag in all the wrong places.
Come on, you know I like it. You used to swoon when I squeezed into this thing. Now you only let me pull it out once a year, so I'm taking full advantage, wearing it out. I can't toss this. It's lucky. I'm not risking my 18-pie record.
Well, it has stains all over it. At least let me wash it before tonight.
Not a chance. If you wash it, it'll lose all its luck. Plus, the smell makes the competition gag. That's my secret. I'm off to stretch out the old stomach down at the pub.
Oh, before you do, I need your help setting up the sticks and hoops in the children's area. And once you've done that, I'll have you go find Porcietta for me. That blasted pig is always running off before I can get the dress on her.
All right, I'm on it. Shouldn't you have an assistant for all of this?
Oh, I almost forgot to mention, I invited a very special guest judge for the pageant this year, Margot Cutler. She's going to be here later tonight because her train got robbed on the way in from Ohio. But if she doesn't make it, you're stepping in.
Have you told Lyman yet?
No, I was hoping you could do that as well.
Perfect. I'll wait to tell him until right before the squash toss to throw him off his game.
Don't be cruel. It will be hard enough for him seeing her after all these years.
Don't worry. He's got to be over her by now.
I wouldn't be so sure. He turned into a bit of a crazy pig guy. That doesn't scream, I'm over my ex to me. Oh, and I have the Cappy Pellas practicing in the billiards room. Will you send them out here? I need to sound check their set before tonight.
Anything you need, my love. This is going to be the best festival yet. I can just feel it.
Exit Charles. Enter Cappy and three townies dressed in a barbershop quartet getup.
Cappy! Boys, don't you all look sharp? I've got you performing in the Beartooth Tent at 5 p.m.
Wow! The Beartooth Tent? Last year, that's where they had that singing horse, Beyonce!
Well, you've earned it. You were highly bequested. Are you ready to show me what you got?
We're ready. Man, I can't believe this is the year we finally get to perform. Thank you for finally considering us. We have been practicing for years now, but for some reason, no one will book us. Okay, boys, let's take it from the top. Be gentle. The bridge is still a bit pitchy.
1, 2, 3. Well.
Enter American soldier with a letter.
Cappy, there's an urgent letter here for you from Winfield Scott in Washington.
Okay, go on, then read it out loud.
Dear Captain Pickett, I think it is time we put an end to this dual occupation. We have tried for 12 years to decide amongst ourselves who should have power ownership over the island, and every year we end up getting into a screaming match and putting shit in each other's mailboxes. It has become apparent that we will not be able to settle this dispute between our two countries alone. So I have solicited help from my old buddy Kaiser Wilhelm I of Germany. I have gotten message from Kaiser Wilhelm, and he has agreed to come to the island to finally decide a winner of this stupid war. He will be arriving on the island this coming week to meet with yourself and Captain Hornby to end all this. Please treat him with respect, as he is a very important political figure and like a really cool dude. His decision will be final, no exceptions. I hope you are as jazzed as I am to finally put this whole thing behind us, because it has caused me nothing but stress for 12 long years. Hugs and kisses, Secretary of Defense, Winfield Scott.
Wow, the Kaiser of Germany at my festival? I have to go get the good plates.
Man, after 12 years, I can't believe that this might actually end. We'll have to postpone practicing, boys. This letter was postmarked a week ago. The Kaiser could be here any minute. I have to get down to the docks to greet him.
But the concert is tonight.
I think this may be more important than the concert. We are going to win the war, boys.
How are we going to convince him to pick us?
We will make him feel welcome and maybe win him over with the power of song. Go to the inn and prepare the nicest room. Add some American stuff in there. I've got to go dig out my captain's uniform. I put it in a box somewhere, but I don't know where.
Lights out. Scene 4, the docks. CAPPY and a few American soldiers wait on the docks, holding tiny American flags and a banner that reads, "Welcome to Britain/America. Kaiser Wilhelm I." Enter via rowboat Kaiser Wilhelm I, Heinrich Kiepert, and Levin Goldschmidt. They have many bags with them.
Kaiser Wilhelm, it is an honor to welcome you to San Juan Island. I am Captain James Pickett. We are excited to have you and to finally end this dispute.
Thank you. These are my boys, Heinrich and Levin.
Stop.
So, to be honest, I actually don't even know what this dispute is all about. I'm honestly just here because my friend Vinny Scott, your ambassador or something, asked me to come. You bet me a boat that I couldn't last 3 days on this shithole island. So, give me all the details. Spill it, girl.
Okay, well, 12 years ago, there was this pig, and then my buddy Lyman, you'll meet him, shot this pig. Then Charles Griffin, you'll meet him. He wasn't super happy about it because it was his pig. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but it led to everyone fighting over if the island was divided by the Harrow Strait or the Rosario Strait. And we just kind of been hanging out here with both armies ever since. We tried to figure out if a bunch of times, but then the Civil War happened and yada, yada, yada. Now we're here.
Actually, I've been studying the maps, and I feel that the requirement to choose between Harrow and Rosario Straits is fundamentally flawed, since the obvious correct channel is the President Channel between San Juan and Orcas Islands, but that was not included as a choice.
I'm sorry. I thought the Kaiser was here to make that decision. Are you the Kaiser? Because last time I checked, I was actually the Kaiser. Am I wrong about this?
You are not wrong, sir.
Okay, then that would make you the geographer that should shut the fuck up. No one asked you, Levin. Jeez. So sorry about Levin. He thinks he's so smart. The whole boat right here, all he wanted to talk about was maps and channels. Geographers, am I right? Always with the facts and the figures and the data, just shut up.
Yeah, geographers suck.
Oh, you can say that again. Now, let's get a drink and talk about this. What does a Kaiser have to do to get a Stein around here?
Someone get the Kaiser a Stein. Kaiser Wilhelm, you've come at a good time. We are actually hosting our annual Timber Day Festival. It's this big party we throw with both sides of the island. We should go there anyways to find Captain Hornby.
Oh, the telegram. A party? Yeah, let's go! Oh, you guys made this place super lame, but hell yeah! I love to party!
Lights out. Scene 5, final Timber Day Festival. The whole town is bustling around the open field between the camps, which has now been decked out with decorations and activities. There are soldiers from both sides wearing their uniforms. Lyman is at the food table making himself a plate when he's slapped on the back by Charles, causing him to drop everything.
Lyman Cutler, how are you feeling about the toss today?
Well, I'm a bit worried. I seem to be dropping things more than normal today.
It's good news for me. Speaking of good news, I have some for you.
Oh, really? What is it?
Well, there may be a special guest coming to the festival tonight. Guess who it is?
I'm not guessing, Charles. Just tell me.
Oh, you have to guess.
Just tell me.
Oh, come on. Just one guess. It's more fun this way.
I'm terrible at guessing. Okay, is it...
Come on now, guess.
I'm thinking.
All right, I'll just tell you. It's,
Charles is cut off by the sound of Julia making an announcement.
Hush, Lyman, my wife is speaking.
You were the one talking.
Shh. Julia stands on a small stage, preparing to start the festivities. She speaks through a paper cone bullhorn.
Hello? Is this thing working? Can you all hear me? Excellent. Welcome to the 19th annual Timber Day Festival. We are so excited to have you all here with us today. The one day a year we put all our differences aside and enjoy all that San Juan has to offer. For those newcomers joining us for the first time, this festival was started by myself and my wonderful husband Charles 19 years ago. The English and the Americans have not always gotten along here, but this festival proves that our unique community is resilient. We have held this event every year without fail, even the year of what we all know as the cow pie catastrophe. We take this moment to remember the fallen sheep who died in the prank wars of '64. And who can forget the year all the Americans got one eyebrow shaved off? This history is not pretty, but it's ours. We will kick off today's festival with the announcement of the Porky Memorial Swinest of All Time pageant nominees. First up, we have Little Porkers weighing in at 365. Next up, my very own Porkyetta, who has the island's first triple curled tail, weighing in at 298. Finally, Porky PJ Jr., weighing in at 301, whose talent will be oinking the alphabet. We can't wait to catch up with these pretty pigs later tonight. The athletic competitions will start shortly. Until then, please enjoy the musical stylings of CAPPY.
Julia leaves the stage, and Cappy and the townies take their spots. Cappy blows his pitch pipe and counts, but is cut off by Henrik and Levin entering.
Hello everyone, please clap your hands together for the funkiest, the spunkiest, the gem of Germany, Kaiser Wilhelm I.
Kaiser Wilhelm I struts on stage and blows kisses to the audience.
Even enough! Hello, San Juan Island. How are we all feeling tonight? Good. I am Kaiser Wilhelm, and I just have to say, this is so freaking cute, you guys. This party of whatever it is like so rustic. I saw a man wearing a beaver as a hat. You can't write this stuff, guys. Seriously, so fun. Well, you are all probably there sitting like, what? Who is this guy? Well, I am here all the way from Germany to decide your fate.
The crowd gasps.
Oh, no, not like that. Oh my gosh. You guys thought I was going to kill you. Like, that is so embarrassing. No. I will be deciding which country will own the island by the end of the day today. I will announce this once I figure out who it should be. So anyways, don't be afraid to come talk to me. I'm like super nice. I love to dance. So you'll probably find me out on the dance floor. It's a party. Let's do it, y'all. Thank you, Donka.
The Kaiser pretends like he's going to jump off the stage and crowd surf, but realizes there aren't that many people and walks down the stairs instead, keeping the energy up. Levin and Heinrich pack up the accordions and carpet and leave the stage. The Capipellas resume their positions, and Cappy once again blows the pitch pipe and counts. Just before they begin, Julia enters the stage and makes an announcement.
Okay, so that ominous interruption from Kaiser Wilhelm put us behind schedule, so give it up for the Capipellas! Maybe next year, guys? We are now going to move on to our squash toss competition. All squash throwers line up at the starting line and prepare your gourds for judging.
Julia exits the stage and is met by Margot.
Julia, wow, this is amazing. I can't believe what you've done with the festival.
Margot, it's so nice to see you. I can't believe you actually made it. I'm so happy you're here.
I wouldn't miss it. It's strange to be back here. It's nothing like I remember. Everyone seems so friendly.
A lot has changed since you left. A lot of people have changed too.
Well, you haven't changed a bit.
I wasn't talking about me.
She nods her head in the direction of Lyman, who is gingerly setting up his squashes for the contest. Margot doesn't get the hint.
Oh, I guess you have that tick. Is that a new thing?
No, I'm talking about someone else.
She does the gesture again. Margot is still oblivious.
Who? I think you should really get that checked out. Does this place have a doctor yet?
Oh, forget it. Let's go watch the squash toss. I think then you'll understand.
I actually did have a question. It's a competition for the biggest squash, but also who can throw it the farthest? How do you judge that? Is it like separate categories, or do you count for size to throw length?
You'll see.
She drags Margot over to meet the crowd who is amping up for the big toss. Charles and Lyman are standing in line along with several other squash throwers. A judge walks by each of them with a measuring tape, assesses their gourds, and then holds up a number for the crowd to see. As the judging happens, Kaiser Wilhelm is greeted by Cappy and Captain Hornby.
Kaiser Wilhelm, love the speech. You made such a good entrance. Now allow me to introduce you to Captain Hornby of the British Royal Navy.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Kaiser. We are so excited to sit down with you and go over the documents so you can make an educated decision about who you think deserves the island.
The Kaiser's distracted by the squash judging. He's only half listening at this point.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I love documents, but what is happening over there?
Oh, that's just a squash toss. The farmers present their largest squash from this year's harvest and then see who can throw them the farthest. It's a fun game. But back to the decision. I was hoping we could go into my office back at the Royal Marine Camp and get started. There's a lot to look over if you want to make the decision by tonight.
Why do we have to do it at your office?
I just don't think your office is suitable for the Kaiser.
What's wrong with my office?
You only have beanbag chairs.
Yeah, and?
And Kaiser is now fully focused on the contest, not comprehending what the captains are saying.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds great. But I have another idea. What if we just use this?
What do you mean?
The vegetable throw game. That seems like a fair way to pick, don't you think?
Well, I think you should at least look over the proposal I've been working on and some of the data.
Data. You sound just like leaving right now. I choose the what do you call this?
Squash toss.
Yeah, we will choose based on who wins the squash toss. I'm going to make an announcement. Heinrich, go get the accordions again.
I just put them away.
Do it quickly, Heinrich. They could thaw at any moment.
The Kaiser and his posse rush to the stage before Hornby or Cappy can stop him. He grabs the bullhorn and begins speaking.
Attention, squashmen. Stop your tossing. I have made my decision. I have decided the winner of the island will be decided based on the largest and farthest squash. I have never seen a game like this, but I assume it must be based on high merit and physical ability. We have 2 throws left. I'm pretty sure one is American and one is British, yes?
That's right.
Okay then. There's no better for you to choose. May the best scores win. Let the tossing commence. Oh, and whichever country loses, your citizens will obviously be deported, effective immediately. And all those who refuse to leave will be arrested and heavily fined. Okay? Woohoo! Throw them!
Levin plays a tune on the accordion to start the game. Lyman and Charles step up to the starting line.
Lyman.
What? What?
The special guest I was talking about. It's Margot. She's right over there. I'm gonna let you win. You deserve to show her that this wasn't all for nothing. You deserve to win.
Charles points across the crowd.
Margot. Charles, you'll lose Bellevue. You'll lose your home. I can't let you do this for me. I have something to say.
Lyman rushes to the center of the squash field, holding his squash in the air, halting the game.
Lyman, what are you doing?
I've been waiting 12 years to say something to you.
Can it wait? Throw the squash. Everyone is waiting on you. You can finally win this.
Oh, this is stupid. All of this is stupid. I'm stupid. I made a huge mistake when I shot Porky and started this whole mess. I didn't know how wonderful this town was. You did, but I was so selfish I didn't listen. I don't need to win. I've already lost. Losing you is the worst thing that ever happened to me. But it taught me that home isn't about the house you live in or the country you're from, it's the people. Charles, if we do this, everyone here will lose too. We can't split up this town. If any of us leave, it won't be our home anymore. So I surrender.
He drops his squash.
Charles, I'm sorry I started all of this. I used to hate you just because I thought for some reason the things I went through to get here meant that I deserve this island more than you. But you've been here longer than anyone. You've been through it all. You know how special this place is because we all live here together. You are my friend, and in order to save this island, I need you to drop your squash.
Record.
Forget about the record, you dope. Drop your squash.
Charles lifts the squash above his head.
Kaiser Wilhelm, you have to keep this town together. I don't care who wins as long as we get to stay in San Juan.
He's dropped his squash. The crowd cheers. The cheers fade out as Kaiser Wilhelm walks to Lyman and Charles.
While this puts me in a hard position, I am very moved by your droppings of the squashes. It is refreshing to see such good friends looking out for each other. Levin, I love you, man. I'm sorry for what I said. I think it's cool that you're a geographer. This is the weirdest, best place I've ever been. I wish I could let you all stay, but I told everyone that I would have a decision by tonight. There is nothing I can do. I have to tell them something.
Tell them it's American.
Charles, what are you doing? You'll be evicted.
Kaiser, I don't care if this island is technically American or technically British. Tell them what you have to, but please, let us stay. This is our home. This is our friends.
You know what? Screw them. I'm just gonna flip a coin on the boat's back. But as long as everyone promises not to tell your governments, either way, everyone stays.
Lyman goes over to Margot and whispers to her. They step away from the crowd as everyone celebrates, lights out. Scene 5, Cutler's house. The faded sound of music plays as Margot and Lyman walk back to their house.
Thanks for coming with me. I wanted to show you something.
They arrive at the house, and Margot looks around at all the things she dreamed about actualized. The fence, the garden, the tire swing from the oak tree. It's all there.
Wow. Lyman, you really cleaned this place up. It's just like you said it would be.
I promised you a home. I know you're back in Ohio now, but if you ever wanted to come home, it's yours.
Lyman, I don't know. It's been so long and it's beautiful, but I've been alone for so long now. I'm not sure I could share this house with you again.
No, Margot. It's all yours. I promised you a home. I'm giving it to you.
What are you gonna do?
Daniel said he would help me turn the fort into a real nice place. It's still on the property, so I guess it's technically mine. But I want you to have the house. It's always been your dream. I wanted to make good on my promise.
Wow. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Lyman. Why are you doing this for me?
It's what neighbors do.
He hands her the keys and then exits into Fort Freedom. Margot takes a moment before opening the gate, walking into her yard, and lying down on the grass. Lights out. End of play. Take it away, Danny.
All right. Yeah, so first off, congratulations to the cast and to Jayne for having her play be read out loud. Just to introduce myself, I am Danny Borba. I am actually the dramaturg for this show. And let's have our creative team go ahead and introduce each other or themselves.
Hi, I'm Dylan Burningham. I'm a junior in the actors training program, and I am the director of this show.
Hello, my name is Grayson Kamel. I am a junior in the ATP, and I am the stage manager of this show.
Hi, my name is Jayne Moyes. I'm the writer. Thank you, everybody. That was so wonderful to see.
Awesome. It was so fun to actually do it for you, Jayne. So I hope everything was nice. So just so that our cast knows, we are going to have a callback. Or not a callback, a talkback. That's completely different. And so just if you guys have any questions, keep them in mind where you can either say them out loud or put them in the chat and we'll get to them. First off, though, I wanted to talk to our playwright real quick and get to know what was your whole process in bringing this into the theater world and making it into a play.
Yeah, I had just kind of run across this story randomly, scrolling through the internet one night and thought it was so ridiculous that there's no way that this was true. But then explored it further and found out that this was an actual war that went on for 12 years, right off of the west coast of the United States that I had never learned about in school, never learned about anything that genuinely was started by a pig. So, the whole idea of this event really inspired me to be like, what are these people? What is this island? And how could this have happened? And then as I, began researching it just out of my own curiosity, found that it was really kind of a story about community and about living together in a cramped space and how do you get along with these people that are supposedly so different from you. And once I started writing it and found, kind of the characters, it just exploded and became the show.
Yeah, that's cool. I think one question I have for you specifically too is, this is like a based on a historical event, right? But it has such a a clear tone, the whole play itself, and it has like this tone of hilarity. I like to say that it almost has a flow of like Schitt's Creek, but like drunk history, like all meshed together. And like I just wanted to ask you about like how this came to be with that specific feel and vibe of the play. Like, is it you as a playwright? Is it something that you were like, you know what, let's make this crazy?
Well, yeah. So thank you. That's a huge compliment. Those are huge influences of this show and of my life. But I think that this show kind of had to be funny. It had to be kind of viewed through a lens of comedy because the event itself is kind of ridiculous. And I wanted to use the absurdity of the event to kind of show off some of these other themes that I had going on. You know, as I started researching some of these actual characters and found out, you know, that Captain Pickett was actually last in his class at West Point, and like all of these things that I put in there are real things of these people. They just seemed absurd to me. So I had to write them in this sort of way because this is, you know, kind of how I imagined it. And I had to write it in a more contemporary tone just because that's how I would imagine, you know, the people to have been. I'm sure it was different, and I'm sure that there was other circumstances, but I think at the root, people are always people. And you can plop a person in any time period and they're still going to be a person, and they're still going to be petty, and they're still going to, you know, be jealous, and all of these things are inherent, even if they come from a little bit different type of language.
Yeah. No, that's a great answer, and I think that's completely true. Now, just a question for our director and our stage manager too. So, first reading this play and going through the development, I know that we put it on our feet when we were in person together, and that had its own evolution and how we worked on it. But then we had to transfer it onto Zoom and into the virtual round. And this play itself is very, it has like comedic timing. It has all these things that are very like in person, right? So how was it putting it into the virtual world and using this medium?
Yeah. The amazing thing about this is we have such a lovely group of cohorts. Majority of the choices, if not all the choices that were made tonight, were made by them. I mean, obviously, we discussed certain themes and things that Jayne was looking for that I was trying to bring to life for everyone. But at the end of the day, it was really the choices that all of the cast members made. And while it's very hard, as we can all agree, that Zoom is difficult sometimes, especially in terms of doing live theater, I think the transfer went better than I thought it would. Because, again, everyone just held on so much to the things we discussed about during our table exploration, which was my favorite part of the class, all in all, because that's when we got into some really deep conversations, not just as a creative team, but everyone. And I think that helped informed everyone's decisions in terms of how to play this as we read it. And, you know, it's not a polished piece because it's just a reading, but it's pretty good considering very few rehearsals we had. So I think that was the biggest thing, is just thinking about your character, thinking about the overall arc of the play, and just a lot of the themes that Jayne had presented to us. That helped in bringing it into the virtual world.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I also, to add on to that, I thought because we started this class in an in-person group, albeit at distance with masks on, but we were able to start the practice and the rehearsal of these 4 shows that we're doing, including Pig War, in person. And so with that just came a lot of play, and I really enjoyed that because we were reading the lines, and then someone would say something, and we'd all laugh and be like, all right, we gotta do it that way now. And we would just have such a fun dynamic. And then moving on to Zoom, I think that helped lead into why it carried over so well, because we'd already built the actions and the chemistry and the community in person. I just thought that was an amazing part of this that I thought was really unique and awesome.
Yeah. Not good answers, y'all. Before I ask my next question to Jayne, I wanted to ask the audience what were some of your favorite parts of the play, as well as what were some of the parts that you felt was a little unnecessary, or just sometimes points at the play that it took you out. If you guys want to answer that into the chat, as well as any other questions or comments that you have. But back to it, Jayne. I know that we got into it a little bit with their answers, but this development that we did, right? What were some of the best things that you got from working on the play with a workshop. And I know that you didn't have a finished script before the first day, right? And so we developed it, and you were writing it. So I just want to ask, like, how was it developing it in this format and with these people?
Yeah, it was amazing to be able to be a part of this workshop. I've done the new play workshop before, and I didn't have that one with a finished draft as well when I went in. And I think that going in and being able to lay out kind of like without a finished draft, going up to these people and saying, this is what I want to do. This is what I plan to do. This is what I have. And then being met with this amazing support of these people taking on this project as if it was their own, to like really learn this story and really learn these characters and really learn what I was trying to do, and then help me build it. That was amazing. I would never want to write a play without this, honestly speaking. I think it is such an important part of the process. I had originally written this show as a part of like a advanced playwriting class the semester before, and had support there as well as I was researching and figuring out that this is the show I wanted to do. But having these actors, these amazing actors, and this, of course, you guys as an amazing creative team, be there through the process. When I had points where I said, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this reads. I don't know. I just don't know. Having you guys to lean on and, be able to take this onto your shoulders as much as it was on mine was amazing, and made this such a fulfilling process, and made this show, not just something that I write alone in my den in the dark, but something that is alive and something that is, growing and evolving with every draft. I think that every time that I came into class, I had an entirely different draft or an entirely new actor, was just throwing this new stuff at you all the time. And it was always met with just excitement and with fun and with play. And it is absolutely invaluable to me and to this show to have been through this experience.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that it was definitely crazy to work with new material every day.
It wasn't just my show either. We got 3 other shows as well. So the amount that you guys did was unbelievable.
Yeah. So we have two comments that I just want to highlight. That the Kaiser, it made Penny K. Wood laugh, and also how the a cappella group, she was hoping that it would come in the second act, and then so that's awesome. But then we have.
Can I say something about the Kaiser real fast?
Yeah.
Because Grayson was talking about the idea of how people made choices in class, and we're like, all right, we're going to stick with it. The first day we read this play, day 1, Willem read for the Kaiser, and instantly we knew he has to be the Kaiser. No other choice. We knew exactly that. We're like, yep, he's got to be the Kaiser. So that's just praising Willem. He just did a fantastic job.
He absolutely molded this character. This character is Willem. So he has been amazing.
Yeah, no, I remember that too, and everyone was like, yep, we have to continue with it. Real quick before we wrap things up, there's a really great question from Aaron Swenson. The double and triple casting really worked for me. How much of that came from the circumstances of the workshop, and how much of it was premeditated? So do you have both our director and our playwright? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely in my mind the entire time I was writing the show. We always joke that this cast, it's everyone in the class, and then some. Everyone I've ever met has ended up as a character in this show somehow. So we joke that this is a huge cast, but I always kind of intended it to have the feel that it could be done by like a weird ragtag theater troupe in some back alley somewhere, that it's in a rented space that doesn't, throw up sheets on the wall and use a cardboard box as a rowboat. So I always intended this to be the kind of show that could be, you switch a mustache and you switch a hat and that's enough to be a new person. But I had to keep it big because there are so many funny, characters and tiers to the hierarchy of how this event played out, and, the progression of how it works its way up the chain of command to ultimately the prime minister and the president of these two crazy huge nations. So, I wanted to keep it big, but I loved that people were so willing to take on multiple roles for this workshop. Due to, COVID and just class size circumstances, we only had a certain number of people. But I don't know if I would have had it the other way. Even if we had enough for everyone, I think it kind of is still a lot of fun to play another part. Everyone was so excited to get their hats earlier today at rehearsal. So
it, because trust me, I've had my fun with that. Dylan, any comments on that?
Yeah, no, I just really agree with Jayne that it adds to the humor and the absurdity having so many different characters, and then on top of that having different actors playing multiple characters, which make it really fun. The hat thing was a decision we made today. It was something we had talked about in the past, but like people like came in rehearsal day and they had some stuff, and then Jayne's like, yes. So a lot of what you saw tonight was just the first time it happened, but was just another example of how amazingly talented our cohorts are at just making choices and stuff. But yeah, I mean, part of it plays into, the idea. I mean, things like this have been around for ages. I mean, you look at Shakespeare, there's a lot of those shows do have big casts and you have people playing multiple roles, or even just back then, a lot of times it was the smallest change of costume that worked, just a hat or a scarf or whatever. And so playing that in today now with a new play, it just kind of keeps that legacy, I guess you could say, going on, which is really fun and it can continue to do that wherever this play ends up going. So
yeah. We have one last comment that I just want to read out because that basically sums it up. It's yes, I could see a ragtag theater group going to town with the show and with the puppet animals and the toy accordion.
Of course.
This would be so fun to design, and I think that's really it's a fun show. It is very much and we also have this other comment. I loved how the multiple casting told its own story about the intimacy of the setting and the necessity of teamwork and community, which is a whole theme in itself that I could go on, and I have gone on and on in class about how that works out. But no, that just ties up how fun this show is, and how there was so many possibilities that we could take it with, and it's just it ties into your writing and your funniness and your comedic nature with your words. But yeah, just so you know that, Jayne. And with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up today. Tomorrow we have another a new play being read. It is The Misfit Arrives by Lane Richards. Is his last name? Yeah. I don't know why I didn't get in my mind, but The Misfit Arrives by Lane Richards at 6:30. Come join us for that. Again, congratulations to our cast and our crew. And thank you everyone for joining and supporting our new play workshop and the new plays that we have at the U going on. So thank you all and have a good night.
Thank you guys.